up, gang? There's some crazy days going on in America right now, y'all. We got to get straight to it, y'all. Music out the way as we get this live started. Mic check. Since we're here at Band-Aid Gang, let's go ahead and if you're new, please sub up to the channel. And make sure you spam that like button. Sit on that like button, y'all. Do whatever you do. Make sure you hit that like button. That will manipulate the algorithms and keep our videos in motion. So it's a mandatory that you guys do that. So make sure you hit that like button, man, because it will keep this channel and our videos in the algorithms. Dr. E, are you with me today, or are you cruising down that yellow brick road, gang?
Yeah, I'm cruising down this black top,
Yeah.
cruising down this road, white line fever. You know what I'm saying?
Before we start this live, everybody, I'm just gonna say this. To be honest with everybody, I think this is one of the most craziest and the most. I can't find really the words for this actual investigation when it comes to Nolan Wells, y'all, because um, if this isn't brought into the courts, can you imagine, Dr. E, what kind of chaos that this will cause in America? Because all of the clues are here, all the clues are there. We're going to show you guys that today. And if these guys are not convicted and brought in front of a judge, what do you think will happen, Dr. E? What is your views on this situation? There's no way that these young men shouldn't be brought in and be questioned about what happened to Nolan. Nothing at all.
But I kind of,
I mean,
yeah, I kind of think that all this stuff that's going on right now. There's the Carmelo Anthony case. It's all these things are, like I said. I hate to say racism, but it's kind of like it's like a part of the political agenda and what they got going on socially right now, or like a social test. They experiment on all nationalities, all races right now, trying to see what people's limitations are or what people's motives going to be. I mean, I don't know 100%, but it seems to be that way because
yeah,
all this stuff is just happening. Like, this is kind of like, I guess, in a slight comparison in history, in the 1920s, this happened a lot of times in the black community. With the hangings and stuff like that were going on, the lynchings, and they did
hmm
nothing about it. You know what I mean? It's getting to that point again where they allowed to show us that we don't get equal justice in this country, and with these crimes and stuff that's going on. It's kind of like they get washed under the bridge and they move on. It shouldn't be
hmm
that way, especially here in 2026.
and he's right,
Years,
y'all.
and it seems like we're not.
I'm gonna
You
drop a
know,
link in the chat. I think I got Mama Kane in here. We got somebody straight from the soil of Mississippi. Everybody, y'all go ahead and give her applause, a nod. Put your hands together. We got somebody from the
right, all
soil of
right,
Mississippi. She did great on our last live. It's good to have somebody that's so close to home and that this hits so close to home and that she can give us history on
that's
Mississippi
right.
because I'm pretty sure this actually hits close to home. So everybody, y'all get in here. Y'all get in here, hit that like button. Y'all, you watching Band-Aid Gang. So the link is in the chat. So before we start this live, this is the lady that actually came up and brought this video out. And we all know it's authentic because no one's gonna risk their reputation or their job to come to the forefront, right, Band-Aid Gang, right, YouTube, right, world, to sacrifice losing their job or bringing false information and making it as far. And first and foremost, I want to give high esteems to Nancy Grace and Don Lemon for doing such a job and just being dedicated to get this out because it's a lot of us CCs trying to get this out, taking chances to get this out, no matter what. Because if it wasn't for social media right now, this case, social media went crazy, y'all, to get this case to surface and just go viral like it did right now. So I just want to thank Nancy Grace. I took my hat to Nancy Grace and Don Lemons for doing such a great job and inspiring me to also follow in the footsteps to get the message out, get justice for uh, Nolan Wells, you guys. So let's get straight to it, y'all. So this is how we gonna do it, y'all. So everything's authentic. So this, if we don't get justice after all the material that we're gonna bring everybody today on YouTube, gang, I don't know what to say. I would not know what to say with what we got tonight for you guys on this timeline, like we always do. We do them all type of ways. Welcome, Nurse 59. My general mod is in here, so y'all be careful. I got subscribers only, so if you want to get in that comment section, go ahead and subscribe. So yeah. So let's get straight to it. Dr. E, you're gonna love this one.
True. The audio you got was taken directly by XLO from MDMR, correct? The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. Isn't that true?
So Nancy Grace is laying it down. Isn't that true? Nancy Grace is more confident in her material because she knows this is legit, y'all. This is legit. No questions asked. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay, please continue, Miss Brantley.
So when I downloaded it from YouTube, I pulled it into my DAW, which is Logic Pro X. That's my DAW of choice. And when I first listened to it, I realized that it was like a dual mono recording, which most, most phone services or operators utilize when they're recording conversations. And so it was already split between the caller, the dispatch, and the callers in the background. And so that's what made it easy for me to isolate it without having to do much to it. So that isolation, when I separate.
So basically, the way she said it was set up, everybody Band-Aid Gang, is that they were on two separate tracks. It was two separate tracks, and the one was in the background, so it's easier for her to separate the tracks, right? And then turn up the volume and enhance the volume. So basically, when she went in to do this, it was so easy because it was two separate tracks. So you can be able to see how she was able to separate the tracks and then turn the volume up. So if you're inclined with music and you know how to DJ or make beats, then someone that makes beats pretty much understands what they did. So it is simple as someone that can make beats could do the exact same thing. That's how simple it was.
The left channel from the right channel. That just made me be able to really focus on everything that was on the call. And then what I was hearing was I honestly could not believe what I was hearing.
There's no question that we did not hear, even without the caption. Is he dead? This is the stuff I'm saying. Is he dead, Dr. E? Is he unalived? We hear that as clear as day. Something went wrong on that boat. And I'm going to demonstrate because, it got so many twists and turns when it comes to this investigation, y'all. But I think I'm pretty close to figuring out. And tonight, we're going to drop a bombshell on everybody. And because I think we're pretty much caught up over here on this channel. We're caught up. We on top of the game like a scoreboard. When you come over here, you're going to get the up-to-date intel when it comes to the Nolan Wells investigation. Let's continue.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hello! Let's go!
So damn it, Bart. So it pretty much seems like someone's being blamed. Shut the F up. When you're panicking on a boat, you pretty much, Dr. E, right? You're working together. You're not going to use that type of verbiage. So we see that this group of young men are panicking. That doesn't sound like people trying to work together to get water out of a boat. Hit the like button, y'all. Let's keep this video in the algorithms. That does not sound like young men that are trying to work together to solve a problem. Did I mention that? Oh, I must have left that part out. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Let's continue, Band-Aid Gang. Let's go.
Hans Borghardt, a veteran trial lawyer joining us out of the Baton Rouge jurisdiction at Borghardt's law firm. Franz, take off your defense hat just one moment. I have introduced wiretaps many times at trials, which are very hard to get, by the way. And I've never had one that I believed was doctored at the time because they were taken by law enforcement. This is from a completely independent source with no dog in the fight, no skin in the game. It's from dispatch at CETO. And if this is real, this blows the case wide up. Now, you, Brantley, isn't it true that the audio you got,
Now, wait a minute.
your defense hat just one moment. I have introduced wiretaps many times at trials, which are very hard to get, by the way. And I've never had one that I believed was doctored at the time because they were taken by law enforcement. This is from a completely independent source with no dog in the fight, no skin in the game. It's from dispatch at CETO. And if this is real, this blows the case wide up. Now,
And guess what, gang? We know it's real. So the next, what's up, Damon? Welcome, gang. And we know it's real. The world knows it's real. Nancy Grace is not going to risk her career, her reputation, if it wasn't. They know it's real. And again, we saluting Nancy Grace for putting boots on the ground and going so hard. You know, when Nancy when Nancy get on something, 95% out of the time, we getting a conviction. So let's continue. She just said it. And then we finna clean up that. Wait till the next clip, gang. Stick around for the next clip. So I want y'all to stick around for the next clip. So Nancy Grace, she leaves that. So she has to basically, Nancy Grace said, you know what, Band-Aid Gang, you know what, world? I'm finna bring my people. So Nancy Grace goes and brings her people to the forefront, gang. So this right here, yeah, we gonna get justice for Nolan. We gonna get justice for Nolan. So Nancy Grace, this is Nancy Grace staff's recording. And we finna let it be known, we stepping on them. We stepping on them tonight, y'all. Make sure you spam that like button, y'all. Let's keep this video in the algorithms.
Bob explain and show how her own in-house producers cleaned up the CETO call. Check this out.
The boat with Nolan Wells. We have a lot of questions that have to be answered. Is this sound real? Has it been enhanced? Who enhanced it? Was it AI or doctored before Janetta Brantley pumped it up so we can hear it? I want you to hear another version.
You can see that I have the CETO channel completely muted, so we're only listening to the callers. Then I go through and simply raise the volume of all of the chatter we hear at the beginning of the call.
No question. There's he's dead again. Is he unalived? Are you kidding me? We hear this in real time, y'all, and we have not gotten anything. No results out of all the information that is on YouTube. We still haven't heard any results. It was so easy to solve this case, to get these young men to roll over on each other. That was to bring Katie, and that was to bring Warren in. And guess what? And interrogated them. And they was going to tell. They didn't even put that type of pressure on these people, Dr. E.
Right.
They should have been hauled in, put in separate rooms, like I said on the last live, y'all, and questioned. Why didn't that happen? because they got family that got power. Because they come from families with money. Oh, yeah, we're going to get deep tonight. Oh, yeah, did I mention that? Oh, yeah, I must have left it out. But let's continue.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Let's go.
Thank you, Mercy.
Susan, that was enhanced by my producer, Sydney. I know.
What? Nancy said that was enhanced by her producer. And look at over. She winked the eye at her, gang. She winked the eye. We beat you again. You two, we beat him again. We finna get justice. When Nancy Grace said this is all we needed. This right now, hey. Open the floodgates. Open the floodgates. After all of this, Dr. E, after all of this chat, after all of this that we're seeing, the reactions from white people. So people say it's a racist thing. People say it's not. But these people don't think it's a racist thing. Nancy Grace don't think it's a racial situation. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And when you get that, when Nancy Grace opened the floodgates, come on, gang. The floodgates is open. Let's go.
By my producer, Sydney. I know her like that.
Uh-oh.
I asked her, enhance it the best you can. She, again, no interest in the outcome of this case.
Uh-oh.
She pulls up, quote, want me to cover him up? I mean,
that's it. What else do we got to say? We got 150 people up in here. Hit the like. What else do we have to say? Now, if these people aren't pulled in and brought in front of a judge, what's going to happen? I mean, what are we supposed to do? How are black people supposed to feel after hearing, Dr. E, are you here with me today?
Yep, right here.
How are we supposed to feel if we don't get a guilty verdict? If these people aren't pulled in? Did you hear what Nancy just said, y'all? She didn't have to say that. She heard that clear as day. She don't have pretty much no dog in the fight either. What do you feel, Dr. E, about her reaction on what she heard? Can you give that to the audience, please?
It's kind of like, I'm visualizing it just as we all are. It's kind of like, she looking at all the information that's out there, what's going around, how the cover-ups are happening, and she just kind of like shocked that nobody's really like going in. That's what I'm shocked about the whole thing too. It's like they got all this information they've been kind of hiding and covering. Audio's been edited. The typical things now that's just becoming so general on YouTube that it's like you can't run game on nobody no more. So why do they keep trying to do this? Like I said, what are they trying to stir up? You know what I mean? Because it's like at the end of the day, you got so many video content creators, they're like professionals. You know what I mean? They've been doing this for the last, couple years now, because they got home and they found something new, a hobby they can do. And it's paying. So now you got all kind of content creators and everything else, video editors and all this stuff. They didn't go to school for this stuff. They learned it on hand. They know how to manipulate and do videos and all kind of things. So at the end of the day, when they see somebody like this come on and do this kind of amateur stuff, you can't just get away with that no more like it's Hollywood. That don't work for us no more because everybody already knows how to do all this stuff off the top, off the rip. It's like you can't do that to us and think you're not going to know. And then for the rest of us over here, like myself, we're here. We didn't watch 48 hours. I don't know how many times in our life. We didn't sit there and watch and binge watch. What's the name of this show? The crime stories and the crime, the crime shows where you just sit there and watch, Ice-T and them in these different shows. And, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We sit there and watch these movies and these shows, and we ain't got to the point we can figure out different stuff because we get locked in and tuned into this stuff. So now we able to interact like we're doing here on this channel. We're able to interact and talk about it like we're in the living room watching it and breaking down a case that's going, past our living rooms now. We got the whole nation sitting, listening, talking, and discussing stuff. So now it's kind of like, all these different minds, these different perspectives, and different ideas come together, and you can't run the bullshit on this no more. Everybody's able to have their 2 cents and say what they want to say. You feel what I'm saying? And it makes everybody like, yeah, like we watching the show. Then you come back off the commercial, boom, you own it. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen next because you already unfolded, who's going to be the mysterious thing like we used to do with the, with the channel before. You're like the mystery band. We're riding like the mystery band and Scooby-Doo and Daphne and all the rest of the crew. And we pretty much figured this stuff out at the end. We know exactly who did the crime. You can't fool us, man. We done grew up off of that, and we got this reality now, like I'm talking about. So that's my kind of 2 cents in a roundabout circle. I'm sorry it's so long and lecturing y'all, but this is the way I do. And I'm out here driving too. So you know what I'm saying? So my mind is in 2 different places, but it's right here.
And you know what, Dr. E,
you know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about.
Take your time with saying it. It don't matter how long it takes for you to say it because everything you're saying needs to be heard. If I could piggyback off of Dr. E, if anybody pay attention, we watch First 48. We see cases solved within 48 hours, and most of those cases are solved where? In the interrogation room. And some of them people aren't even going to jail. They're just being interrogated. They're being questioned. They're being put in separate rooms, and they're being questioned. Why didn't this happen to this group of young children? Why didn't this happen to this group of young men and women? Excuse me, why didn't this happen? It doesn't make sense. They would have told on either after hearing the recording right now. After hearing that, after the world has heard this, y'all, and there's still no action being taken. And you mean
we watch things like forensic files. You know what I'm saying? They gotta add to that. We watch forensic files. We watch, like I said, the crime stories. You can't run this on the average American anymore. See, back in the day when John F. Kennedy and all that D.R.E. Oswald and that stuff happened in the 60s, only limited people had access to the whole, industry of movies. You know what I'm saying? How they can edit and chop things up. And we had to sit there and watch it because we didn't have no technology like that back then. Now everybody has that on their phones. These iPhones and stuff now, you can make movies and stuff on these phones. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I had to just really add in there. They really trying to run the boom wham on us, and it's like it's not gonna happen.
Well,
we too good for that.
Can't at this point with this case, with this actual investigation. Hopefully, it turns into a case. Hopefully, it turns into a trial. But if it doesn't, can you imagine the type of backlash and the way Black people will feel? I think this is the turning point. This is no justice, no peace. You know how people scream no justice, no peace, but they just say it? If we don't get these young men, this is no justice, no peace. We're at that point. This one they have to bring it. Listen what she said. Let's run it again. And we got another good clip for y'all. Y'all getting educated today. Let's go, gang.
Cover him up?
Listen what she said, y'all.
Again, has no interest in the outcome of this case. She pulls up, quote, want me to cover him up? I mean, Susan, weigh in.
Uh-oh.
I was listening to the enhanced version, both of them now, not doctored, by the way. There's a big difference there. Have you ever heard, Nancy, on Instagram where you listen to two things and your mind goes to what you're thinking of, like green car or moon boat? What are we really hearing? I believe that something nefarious did happen. Where I think the answers will be, again, this is my opinion, but I believe something happened there and we're not hearing the full story. And
Thank you. What else does America need? Something happened. We're not hearing the full story. And everybody knows that. Everyone knows that. With what we're seeing right now, they need to speed up this process. What are they doing this for? Why are they, I mean, come on, gang. It's damn near looking like white supremacy. People in high places. And it's not fair. This is not fair. Let's go, gang.
you pointing out, Nancy, how crowded that area was. So
Nancy, Auntie Bob, explain and show how her own in-house producers cleaned up.
Now, I want to play this clip right here. Let me go ahead, get straight to it. So, this is quite interesting, Band-Aid gang. Y'all please hit the like button. Thank you. Immortal, put them under the prison. Put them under the prison. But I'm gonna give you a view. I think I know what happened. And I'm gonna give you, I think I broke the code too. But we're gonna get to that. Let's learn about what goes on in Mississippi behind the scenes, right? Let's talk about that. Let's get to this. Let's talk about Dixieland, right? Let's take it to Dixieland. Band-Aid gang. Hit that like button. Let's manipulate the algorithms. Let's go.
Hey y'all, good morning. We got a little bit of breaking news. Shout out to Queen Amadaya and also Secret Service Sam. Y'all, OMG, the Dixie Mafia has come into play. They said that the Dixie Mafia was the ones who assassinated one of the judges in Mississippi and his wife. He had dealings with some kind of connection that was going on there in Mississippi. But now the Dixie Mafia are coming up in the Nolan Wells case. They said the Dixie Mafia are all throughout Mississippi. Now, are these the reasons why nobody has said anything? You know, Bart, Warren, Trayston, because they have been threatened allegedly, maybe possibly by the Dixie Mafia. They said the Dixie Mafia ain't no joke. They said that their whole and soul, thing is they are not to tell on anyone and they are not to let the cops know. But is the governor a part of the Dixie Mafia connection? Is the DA and all of them a part of the Dixie Mafia connection? Is this why things are being silenced and, Nolan Wells autopsy being sealed? We don't know. Allegedly, they said even people back years ago were allegedly escaping from jail. And they are saying possibly, from what I've learned from Queen, that these people were possibly letting people out of jail. Situation with the Dixie Mafia, basically. But y'all, stay tuned. This is a little bit of breaking news.
And we're going to dig into the Dixie Mafia. See, I don't want to dig too much, right? Now, as we watch this next clip, so it's so many twists and turns. Now, we know what happened. Hey, y'all know them. One of my friends right now, Dr. E, chat, I'm going to give you... This is gonna shock you today, right? I was talking to one of my, I called him my cousin. We grew up together in the Bay Area, right? He's in a relationship with an Italian Mexican girl, but she looks more white, right? She looks more white, right? So he said, I was telling him about, I'm just sharing a little story with y'all. I was talking to him on the phone today with Angel, and I was telling him about the Nolan Wells. He wasn't really up on it, right? So I was telling him what happened on the boats. He said, cuz, I'm going to tell you what happened to me. He said, because, him and his girl got a boat. So he said they was up in Tracy, and they was on their boat just the other day. And he said, bro, that's crazy because I was on the boat, and they was seeing me with my girlfriend, and she looked white. And they was calling them all type of niggas. Effing nigga, You fucking nigger. He was like, you fucking nigger, you effing nigger. Excuse me, you effing nigger. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, he was about to pull the boat over because, you know, he had his gun on him. So she was like, nah, baby, don't do it. Don't do it. Just, and then he said, no, I'm about to go back over there. Thank God he didn't. And he said they was on the shore. And it was all because they saw him, a black man with a white girl. Now, they was on a boat. Now, remind you, look where Nolan Wells was. On an island that was majority white. So this is just happening to my cousin and his girl. This happened the other day. So when he said, now I'm about to turn around, he said his girl said, look. And that was the patrols that they have on the boat coming. That was like the cops. Right. They was on the water. Right. And it was right by him. But he said the guy got more aggressive because he saw the police was there. So he's like, okay, I got even more power. I'm going to keep calling them the N-word in front of the police. You see what I'm saying? But if that was the tables was reversed and my cousin was hollering off the shore at some white people like that, I'm sure my cousin wouldn't have did it because he saw the police. But just think about the arrogance and the power that he thought he had, that he could still do that in front of an officer. You see what I'm saying? But so imagine, so now that's a racist move. Right. Just because he was with a white girl and they riding their boat together, out of nowhere they just started. He said it was a couple of them. They were just calling them nigga. You effing N-word, you effing N-word. That's sad. And I just shared that story with him about the Nolan Wells. He was like, that's crazy because he hadn't watched it. But he was like, that. Let me tell you what just happened to me and my girl the other day. And that was the story. Just wicked. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead, and this is what we going down the line, y'all. We finna break the code. Let's break the code tonight. So I'm about to start doing my thing. So y'all, I'm about to start cooking. So let me get ready to start cooking, y'all. Let's do them all type of ways. It's going down. So, Band-Aid gang. This right here is another way this expose it all. Now, we heard Nancy Grace on this live stream expose it, bring her team authentic to this audio. Passionately said, hey, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So let's go ahead and continue this.
I figured it out. I figured out the Nolan Wells timeline. I know how they mess with the GPS. I figured it all out. I figured out the lies that are based in truth. I figured it all out, and I've got proof. But stick with me because it's going to be a long video, y'all. Now, I found a 15-page Marine Patrol report that had lots of little details that prove that the boys had been lying. So I've already shown how at 1:30 in the morning, the initial Lieutenant Odom with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office said that his deputies spoke with several of the friends who traveled to the island on the vessel with Nolan. And they said that he left in the company of an unknown female and that he chose to remain on the island.
So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police or?
Yeah, so watch this, y'all. Now, mind you, he never says Nurse 59. He never says Immortal. He never says, Mom, that he ever went and spoke to the police. He said he left and went back to the house. Right, Dr. E? He left, he went back to the house, and he went to sleep. But we got proof and records. He went and talked to the police at 1 in the morning. So that's really those suspects. Does he have a relationship with the officers, right? So now, is he cool with the police? We don't know if the police or the guards came back and put Nolan's body on that island. Because with what's going on now, who can we trust? It seems like some type of organization, some type of cult. Are we finna get into that? It's one. Now you heard what she said. At 1 o'clock in the morning, Warren went and spoke to a policeman. So he must got a relationship if he's hiding it, right? If he never told that, right, gang? If he never said in this interview, or we knowing that he went and spoke to the police, right? That's a red flag. Am I right, Dr. E? Why is he hiding the fact that he didn't talk to the police? So that means they know law enforcement. Allegedly. That means they know law enforcement allegedly. So let's continue.
Email, and that he chose to remain on the island.
So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police or?
Yeah, so the first time I talked to the police was July 7th. I talked to the lead investigator and I told him my whole story top to bottom. Dot every I, crossed every T. I told him everything I knew, every little detail.
Well, that's a lie now.
He said July 7th, right? That the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. That's 3 days. 3 days later, he's claiming that he spoke to an officer 3 days later. So, but listen what we got here.
Company of an unknown female
Now listen.
on the vessel with deputies spoke with
Listen to this.
little details that prove that the boys had been lying. So I've already shown how at 1:30 in the morning, the initial Lieutenant Odom with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office said that his deputies spoke with several of the friends who traveled to the island on the vessel with Nolan. And they said that he left in the company of an unknown female and that he chose to remain on the island.
So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police or?
Yeah, so the first time I talked to the police was July 7th. I talked to the lead investigator and I told him my whole story top to bottom. Dot every I, crossed every T. I told him everything I knew, every little detail.
Well, that's a lie now, isn't it, Warren? Because you talked to them at 1:30 in the morning that night. I mean, did you just
1:30 in the morning, gang, that night, Dr. E. But he said he talked to him on the 7th, y'all.
Crazy work.
So at 1:30 in the morning, they was sneaking and geeking. I can't make this up. 1:30 in the morning, Band-Aid gang. Ain't no telling what they did. So here's the catch. This was shit is gonna get deep, right? So now I'm gonna just say they can manipulate and hide their coordinates on the boats too. So when I'm thinking, I don't want to go too far. I'm gonna wait till she get to that point. That they took a boat back out, and that boat you didn't even know that boat was actually on the water because you can manipulate that. So let's talk about it.
forget to tell the cops about Katie? Because it's not like you didn't know it was her or you didn't know how to get in contact with her.
The girl that he was with, Katie, had text somebody that she heard people yelling.
Correct.
Yelling.
Yeah, and I have a picture of that. She texted somebody, and the next day everybody was panicking. Everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seeing Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, this last time I saw him, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned.
Now, mind you, Band-Aid gang, Dr. E, did you hear him go? Band-Aid gang. Does he have the snip? Does he? Listen, gang, we gonna get there. He might be a skier. He might like to go skiing, gang. Because he was just sniffing. He just sniffed, gang. So he might like to go skiing, and we gonna get to that too.
That the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat.
But Katie says that she assumed that she went on the boat after y'all were yelling at him. And let's not forget that the last time you saw him was 3.
Well, the last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock.
And see, any Dr. E, I have to do my commentary like this, Band-Aid gang. Thank you. It is a huge cover-up. Now, it didn't even matter to the Band-Aid gang, to this channel, what it was. But when he said this was a red flag too, gang. Okay, what day was that, C-Dub? After or before? After. So this is the next day that he went and saw the officer. But he said he went and saw, they went and saw officer. They went and saw officer at 1:30 in the morning. So they slid out. But he's saying that he didn't talk to an officer until the 7th, 3 days later. So ask yourself this question. Why did it take him 3 days to even go talk to an officer since he wanted to give himself 3 days?
But they have time to come up with a story.
Yes. Why would you want to go talk to an officer in 3 days, and why didn't they come see you? Band-Aid gang, we doing them all type of ways. Ask yourself this question. Why did he have to go see the officer on the 7th? I think they found the body 2 days later. 2 days later is when they found Nolan Wells. Face down. Hey. Why did it take, after they found Nolan face down, for you guys to even go speak to an officer? And why didn't the officers come looking for them, gang? Could it be because you guys went and saw the officers the day before? I said, damn. Let's continue. Now listen.
And Nolan was crazy.
So this is the part I wanted to say. When he said 3 o'clock, that's when I was like, come on, gang. I said that. 3 o'clock on the dot was the last time you saw him. So you looked at your watch and it said 3 o'clock. You couldn't have said 3:08, 3 something. When you said exactly 3 o'clock, gang, that's how you knew it was a cover up. See, you can't play with us over here. 3 o'clock. Y'all, everybody should have been just an even 3, Dr. E. Was that kind of suspect to you, or is it just me?
Yeah. I mean, it's very specific. Like I said, it's like they laid the plot out over 3 days. This is how we're gonna say it, and this is what we're gonna stick to. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it pretty much is coming up. And for a journalist like Nancy to be saying these things, like I said, she knows false information and true
right
information. She's been doing this for a while, so that's why for her to come out her lips to say that on her show and be a panel and say that publicly, that lets you know that she's kind of tired of the bullshit. And like you can't just play us like this. She's a professional journalist.
Get up in here.
You feel what I'm saying? So
hit that link if you can, Kamikaze. But let me say this. because we try not to do, y'all. We try to give you the best show. We don't cut no corners. Now, this is going to be the realest stuff you ever heard. Like Dr. E just said, that's how you know they planned it, right? Because when he asked him, and y'all know I'm smart when I say this, when was the last time you seen Nolan, right? He said 3 o'clock because they sat and they talked in private and said, hey, I'm going to say 3. See, that's where he messed up. 3 o'clock is the time that we saw him last, right? When he should have said, I don't know. The best way the lie could have looked good is when he said, if he would have said, I don't know, but it was around 3 o'clock, somewhere close to 3, it would have sounded better. But just an even 3 o'clock, that was premeditated. An even 3 o'clock. We got to tell him 3 o'clock we was here, this and that. And he went in saying 3 because regularly, you know it wasn't 3 o'clock. We know that it would have been best for him to say it was sometime around 3. I don't know. It was close to 3, up in the 3 o'clock area. I know it was around 3. That's it. But 3 o'clock was the last time I saw him. Come on, y'all. Let's go.
Cradling a girl in his arms.
And yet, for some reason, around noon, the name of another girl who hadn't even seen Nolan in a year was given to the patrol to go interview, saying that she was with that group, not Katie. They also gave the name of a couple of other friends who they weren't able to get in contact with. And despite having a picture of a text message from Katie, funny how you didn't share that with Officer Tatum. Probably could have cleared up some stuff real quick, right? Now, let's get to the data. Now, at about 1:30 on July 5th, they were doing a flight of drones based on the relation of the last known anchor position of the Atkinson vessel, which I have documented right here. 4:30, Officer Strickland contacted Jennifer Pyrone, who was Wyatt's mother, who told them that he had already spoken to officers earlier in that day, but they were happy to cooperate with any investigation. And she let this officer take a picture of the GPS. Officer Strickland observed the track line showing Pyrone's vessel location on Horn Island, then gave coordinates. I'm going to need you to remember this exact phrasing. It's going to be important later on. Now, this was the GPS coordinates from the picture that the officer took, meaning that these coordinates had to be a different one that was verbally given over the phone by Wyatt. And you'll notice they're quite different. Now, you'll notice that this incident report says the involved entities are Bart Edmington and Jerry Adkerson, not Wyatt. Even though Wyatt is 18, he should be on this report. And you could argue that they were just giving the names of the people that owned the boats, but somehow I doubt that 21-year-old Bart owns that boat. You'll notice on this report that 2 different pieces of GPS evidence were collected. So now we're going to go to the July 8th report where they came and they took those GPS coordinates from both the Adkerson boat and Bart's boat. Yellow is Bart, blue is the grandfather Jerry. You know, the same Jerry that called and canceled the sea tow as the sea tow phone call was being made. Now, mind you, this is 3 days after the police had come and spoken to the mother and gotten the GPS coordinates. Now, Bart had a germane GPS map chart plotter. Jerry's boat also contained a germane GPS map chart plotter. Now, I had to look up the difference between waypoints, tracks, and routes. So waypoints mark specific spots. Routes connect them in a place.
Now, this is important, Dr. E. You tracking? Everybody tracking?
Yeah.
Listen what she says, gang, that they can do. Now, listen what she's saying.
Waypoints, tracks, and routes. So waypoints mark specific spots. Routes connect them in a planned order, and tracks record your actual path. Now, according to that GPS data, there is no movement from 11 to 4:30, but we know that that's not true. Warren has never been able to logically explain how they ended up so far away from the shore. Because according to him, he said at 3 o'clock, that was the last time he saw Nolan. Bart was trying to yell at him to get on the boat. His brother got into a fight, so he got his brother to come over there. That's when he saw that it was all sinking, because he said this.
There's a lot of people on, so it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time, we were out there for a couple hours. The boat started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater.
Yes, but according to Warren, he had just seen Nolan like neck deep cradling a girl at the boat next to them. So how did they end up in 31 feet of water at the 4 o'clock call? There's an hour in between that. If the battery is submerged, how would they even get away from the sandbar?
Thank you. See, let's go.
You can see in the background of this picture, they are far away from people. And yet this GPS is saying that you were stationary the whole time. But why? Especially because we have actual fucking proof right here. We have the coordinates that Wyatt's mom gave them the second time, and the cop took a picture of the GPS. Compare it to the GPS coordinates in which they were trying to get a tow from. But what if I were to tell you that not only does a waypoint need to be physically saved on this exact type of GPS, you have to intentionally say, mark this spot, or else it doesn't automatically save. It records your tracks automatically, but those are just saved coordinates. And it turns out you can actually delete tracks. It's super easy. You just go into the main menu and you delete it off of your data. So
bingo. Now, you can delete your tracks, gang. So this may be a key to it right here, y'all. So when they came out and got rid of his body, now there's a boat, like one of them Navy SEAL boats.
Right.
Warren got wrong that Bart has. And I think that's the boat they dropped Nolan off on. Or allegedly could have been what? An officer. This is a whole big conspiracy, gang. Now let's continue.
Why is this GPS data, which is right here, so much further away than what the GPS says it is later? There's no data included in that GPS report that explains them going from here to here, unless someone went in and deleted those tracks.
Bingo. Bingo. Y'all hit that like button. Let's get these likes up. Let's get this up to 100 likes, y'all.
Because they probably dropped that waypoint once they anchored, which would explain why Warren said they showed up at 10:30 and the GPS says that they showed up after 11. And so then it wasn't until half an hour after the canceled tow that they dropped another waypoint. And mind you, the exact same GPS was used in both boats, and Wyatt/Jerry's boat has the tracks and routes where Bart's does not. And again,
bingo. Bart's ain't got it, gang. Bart's ain't. I'm telling you, gang. Watch this, y'all. We own them. See, y'all. You know what other boat? That's how you know it was more boats, right? Because Nolan's so-called best friend, y'all forgot that he came on the boat with his uncle, right? So don't forget that boat. Now, where is he at in this situation? Because they all left around the same time he left because he had just gotten a fight. But I'm gonna show you what I believe, what I really believe went on. Because they all hauled out. They all got out of there around the same time. So you got Nolan's fake best friend, you got 2 boats from Wyatt, and you got the other boat. We're looking at 4 boats. 4 boats. One boat allegedly had almost 16 people on it. So they had a big party of people, gang. Wyatt's boat, Wyatt's boat had about 16 people on the boat. He said young men and females was on that boat. Where they at? What was they at? Or we only seeing one boat. What happened to the boat that had 16 people on it, Band-Aid gang? Hit the like button. Y'all forget that, right? Wyatt had 16 people on a boat. Males and females. Now, when they're leaving, we don't see 16 people on any other boat. Why are we just seeing one boat? They don't even give us a picture of the boat that's pulling that boat.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, y'all. We cooking. We only see one boat, but 4 boats came down there. Who's giving us these pictures, man? Y'all see what I'm saying? Yeah. Who's giving us these pictures, gang? This is a super cover-up. Now let's continue.
And it tracks it automatically. So you have to intentionally delete those tracks. And why did they do that? Well, it turns out Jerry Atkinson just so happens to be the owner of Ocean Marine Group in Ocean Springs and Gulfport, which is literally a boat dealer. So
bingo. I said, damn.
Wow.
So Jerry has a boat dealership. He sells boats. He knows every trick in the trade. He can go get one of his other boats and go dump off Nolan's body and erase his tracks. I said, damn, because it all boils down to this is where the twist. Thank you, Ming. This is where the twist comes in, right? This is where the twist come in. Why, when Nolan's dad went out there, right, with the coach, they didn't see nobody. They didn't see a body washed up. But 2 days later, there's a body, gang. What about the day before that? So pay attention to this. 2 days later, they see a body. What happened to the other 2 days? They didn't see a body. What was they at? Make it make sense. When they went back out there, they didn't see Nolan's body. The dad went out there and didn't see Nolan's body with the coach. No sign of Nolan. The next day, so there's a next day, right, Dr. E?
Right.
Shouldn't somebody have found him the next day? Shouldn't the officers been out there the next day? They should have found him then, right?
True.
So why did it take 3 days to find gang, bro?
Get a story straight.
Why did it take 3 days to find gang, bro? Why did his body, what happened? His body floated way out and then floated back in? And they just missed this float? What was they doing on the second day? Was somebody out there on the second day? I'm just saying. Why didn't you find, if you found the body on the 3rd day, why didn't you find it on the 1st and the 2nd day? Hit the like button. Hit that like button. I'm going to give it to you raw. And I got a hell of a timeline. I'm going to tell you what had done happened. Watch this. I'm gonna put it together. Watch this. Let's go.
Guess who's gonna know that information? We already know Grandpa Jerry was in the mix because the only way that he could have canceled the sea tow before it even started to head out is if Wyatt had called Jerry first and Jerry told him to call for a sea tow and then canceled it for him, which would explain why he couldn't give any descriptions.
Right. So that's premeditated. So he wanted to look like they did a distress call and then canceled it.
Yeah.
To cover up. That's part of the cover up. Because he had already told him, man, it allegedly could have been Bart. Allegedly could have been, guess what, gang? We're not going to count out, allegedly, Nolan's fake best friend. And I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. Don't forget Nolan's fake best friend. Let's continue.
Of where the water was, how high was it? We know that the sea tow did not bring in the boat. In fact, Bart's mother came on Facebook and said that there are pictures from my son's boat of the boat about to be towed, which is clearly who is about ready to tow them here as Wyatt is on the phone. I can tell you 100% that this is not a sinking boat. You can see Bart bringing them in this picture. But Bart was supposedly the one yelling at Nolan to get on the...
And if there was another boat that they had that Wyatt had, Band-Aid Gang, does this female want to be on the boat with 5 guys, 6 guys, and it's another boat that got men and females on it? I'm confused. Wouldn't she want to mingle with a couple other females?
Hey.
If there's a boat full of 16 people on one boat, he said, why didn't she want to be over there? Why is she on the boat right over there with Nolan? Huh? It don't add up. Let's continue.
Boat, remember? Why would he be yelling at Nolan to get on a boat that's sinking? Unless he was telling Nolan to get on his boat. And Warren accidentally explained what really happened with the engine. Whatever happened with Nolan happened on Bart's boat.
Bingo. Bingo. Now watch this, y'all.
Allegedly. Which is why all of Bart's information was deleted. So here's what happened. Both this one and this one confirmed that there was a fight that broke out on the beach. Started out with him, ended up with Warren's little brother. His uncle says, we gotta go. They hop on a boat and they leave. He grabs his drunk younger brother and says, we're getting out of here too.
So, watch how I do this. Watch how I rock it. Watch how I cook right here. Let me tell you, I always had this suspicion. And we gonna play this. Now watch this, gang. Nolan's fake best friend, which is this guy right here. Nolan's fake best friend, right? Notice his posture. You can tell he got anger problems, right? We can tell this guy got anger problems. And here's the thing. Remember, Nolan called him 2 times that morning. He never answered the phone. Never called him back either. So, allegedly, was he mad at Nolan? Did he not want to be around Nolan? Did he know, allegedly, that Nolan was about to get his butt kicked by Bart, and they wanted to see it happen? Because if Nolan is your best friend, and he's mad about to go fight a guy, he said that Nolan was passing him up. And all he did was, give him a little, both of them punch each other fist like, what up, homie? And he said something slick to Katie. That was his words. He said, yeah, I saw Nolan on the beach. We just gave each other. He said, I said something slick about the girl that he was with. So, did you know that allegedly Bart was going to have a problem with that girl and you playing with fire because Bart finna be out here? Or when you got into that fight that you say you got into that fight, right, Band-Aid Gang? Now watch this. He say he got into a fight, right? How we know that wasn't Nolan fighting Bart? Excuse me. How we know that, yes, how we know that fight wasn't between Nolan and Bart? And he could have jumped in too. This is just alleged. Because it seems to me, why didn't he answer the phone for his best friend? So was the fight between Bart and Nolan? And it was never him fighting. He was another good cover-up because he's black. And him being half black and saying, man, I say that I had a fight. They'll believe me because I'm black. We need you to say that you had to fight. Don't say. So what happened probably was Bart allegedly could have injured or he could have been jumped by the brother too. So allegedly, I'm just saying allegedly, I low-key believe, because think about it, they all left around the same time. So what if Nolan was severely injured? What if he was severely injured and he passed away? It was a oh fuck moment. What if he was injured in that fight between Bart or between him? Or maybe he got jumped. Or another way it could have happened. What if Nolan was like, I'm gonna stay right here. But they wanted to get Nolan on that boat, and then they kicked his butt on the boat. So we got two ways that this could happen. Yeah, Nolan was like, shit, I'll find another way to get there. But he really didn't want to get on the boat, but he knew that was his only way back. But dude wanted him on the boat real bad. Nolan, get up on the boat. We leaving. But you said you saw him at 3 o'clock. The last time you saw him was at 3 o'clock, gang. But at 4:30, you telling Nolan to get on the boat. So I believe that Nolan either fought him, but see, he ain't nobody to cover up. He just a goddamn nigga he just somebody that get into it with his girl all the time. You can tell he let his girl run him. So he did the cover up. Also, when they said, let me get the phone, he even stepped in and said that was his voice saying get the phone. He was covering, allegedly could have been covering for Bart. I think Nolan was severely injured. And he could have passed away. He could have choked him and gave him he could have put him in a sleeper and choked him all the way out. And then they picked up Nolan's body and put it on the boat. But Nolan never came back. He never came back. Think about it. That fight could have been Bart on that beach fighting Nolan. That's why this dope fiend didn't want to answer the phone when he called him this morning. Anytime you're my best friend and we the two only black dudes really around, and we best friends, and that morning I know we finna go. First of all, if you and Nolan are best friends, why wasn't Nolan on your boat, gang, with you and your uncle?
That part.
Nolan should have been on the boat with him and his uncle. If they best friends, I'd have rolled with my best buddy. Because I believe he didn't answer the phone because he said he made the slick remark about Katie. He said that he made a slick remark about Katie. Why'd you make a slick remark about Katie? What you saying, bro? Bart finna kick your ass, bro. You with this girl, Bart finna beat your ass. And that fight was between Bart, allegedly, and Nolan. And Bart, he probably choked him out to where he couldn't breathe, where he looked like he was just a rag doll. And they said, get him on the boat. Put him on the boat. But he never came back. Right, Dr. E? He probably never
Yep.
came back. He probably started convulsing on the boat, moving different. He never came back. And now they panic and they trying to cover it up because Bart got this future to be an NFL player. Ming said they jumped him. But I think the fight was not him fighting. He was the cover-up because he looked good. We need you to say that you was his best friend, and we need to say that you was fighting. And that hollering when Nolan would just say that was you. And he did it to cover up. Because at that moment, they probably thought that Nolan was going to come back conscious. But he never did. So he took the rap. I don't think that he had a fight. I think that fight was Nolan and Bart. And the reason he didn't answer the phone, because he knew it was a fight coming, and he didn't want to give it up. He could have been mad at Nolan, too. Now, let's continue.
His little brother. His uncle says, we gotta go. They hop on a boat and they leave. He grabs his drunk younger brother and says, we're getting out of here too.
So, they all leaving at the same time, Band-Aid gang. But there's somebody missing. Are they all leaving at the same time? But they all leave at the same time, bro. They all get because they got a body. They got a body with them, gang. They probably saying while they walked into the boat, oh, he's just drunk. He's just drunk. He got beat up, man. We're gonna bring him back on the boat. They get up there trying to get him CPR. He just don't come back. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Because tell me, let's talk facts, gang. Tell me, you want me to tell you how I know? This right here is the straw that broke the camel's back, Band-Aid gang. Thank you, Nurse 59. Watch this, gang. I'm going to tell you how you know that it was between that party that was fighting. How you know that, Band-Aid gang? Watch this. Because if there was a hater, right? If Nolan's abusive-looking best friend, this guy right here, that keeps his arms crossed, right? If he had a hater on that island, right, that he just beat up, right, that they fought, then Warren's brother got into it with somebody on the island too, right? Right, Dr. E?
Right.
Then if there was a hater of the motherfucker that didn't like him, why they ain't told by now? Hit the like button. Because if there was somebody that didn't like this dude on the island and they just got the bumping on the island, and it was chaos between two separate parties, one of the other ones would have said something. They would have said something. Like, oh, I'm finna step up. I hate that motherfucker right there. They know they did that shit.
Yep.
The hater that he fought would have stepped in and told and got justice because he didn't like this dude. Whoever was the ops would have told. Why ain't no ops stepped up, gang? Hit the like button. Tell me why ain't no ops stepped up since there was some ops on the island. Why the ops ain't speaking, gang? The ops would have said something. That's all it is. And these are real facts. Kevin, because I can, I'll get you up out of here. So now, don't disrespect my chat. Let me cook. For real. Why didn't the ops? Am I right, Dr. E? A hater are going to tell on you real quick. Especially if you kicked him in his ass. If you kicked him in his butt and beat him up real bad, got a couple punches on him, punched him up. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell real quick. Because it didn't happen. Because if he punched up the op, and then there was another fight, and then they saw Nolan unalive, or they saw the news, right? The op would have been the first one on the phone. The one that got his ass kicked, he would have got on that phone real quick. Hey, I seen who did it. Yep. He's sitting there with a swole eye on the phone talking about, yeah, I'm going to get this motherfucker. Yeah, you going down. You think it's going down like that? You finna go down, you just roll up my eye, you done bust my eye up, And I saw what you did to that boy Nolan. I don't like your ass anyway. And we saw what you did to that dude after you beat me up. Yeah, I'm gonna call in on your ass. What a upset. Let's keep it all the way up, Bean. Let's continue to track.
Up with Warren's little brother. His uncle says, we gotta go. They hop on a boat and they leave. He grabs his drunk younger brother and says, we're getting out of here too. 3 o'clock. This whole caravan is trying to get the hell out of there because they're drunk and fighting. Wyatt's boat was in such a hurry that they couldn't figure out how to put the freaking trim down, which caused the motor to overheat, quickly stranded them, and Bart had to come help them. The time that Bart shows up, something has happened between him and Nolan. They're all distracted trying to fix the bilge pump because it didn't trim down. The waves were crashing over the boat and into the bilge pump, short-circuiting it. During this, some people have figured out that Nolan is gone. Other people just think that he's passed out or something, which is why Wyatt calls his grandfather to figure out what the F to do. And as the phone call is being made, more people are figuring out something's wrong with Nolan. That's why they didn't start moving again for 30 minutes. They were coming up with a plan and figuring out how to make it work. I've run out of time, but don't worry, I'm doing a follow-up to this video with more details, more information. And if you like my work, be sure to show your support in my bio.
Hey, she cooking. I can't make the sense. Dr. E, doesn't that make more sense? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't what I'm saying make more sense? They all left at the same time.
Yeah.
All of them ran at the same time, but only boat that we're seeing, right, is the boat that's flooding. But there's 3 other boats. We don't see them, and they're only tracking. Notice that they're only tracking one boat, gang. They're showing us, right? They're showing us just the where the one boat was navigating through. They're showing us one boat. They're not showing us where the other boats went.
That's what they call it in plain sight. A lot of these hidden messages be in plain sight. See what I'm saying? That's exactly what it sounds like.
Thank you, Kamikaze, for putting him on timeout. I'm making sense, gang. Think about it. They're only giving us coordinates of one boat. They tell us where one boat went. Where it went up, came back down, went up, came back. Where the other boats go, gang? We can't get no GPS on that. We want to know where they went to. It's only right. We want to know where the other boats went, gang. That's why I'm saying these people need to be questioned. It don't make sense why we only got coordinates of one boat, but not 3 of them. So y'all track one boat. So Nolan could have been on a whole nother boat. But y'all track one boat and ain't got no track record on where the other boats went. I said, damn. Can you do me that? And it's probably too late now. Oh, yeah, I got everybody on stun mode. You know why? Because you know I'm spitting facts. Am I right, Dr. E? They're showing us coordinates of one boat. Where's the other 3? Can you tell us where the other 3 broke off at? Can you show us what the other... We have not been able to see where the other 3 boats broke off and went to. We might want to look at where they went. That might have looked suspicious. Where them other boats went might have looked suspicious. We want to know where all 3 of the boats went. But you're showing us where one boat went. Nolan's body could have been on the boat with the 16 people on it. I said, damn, this crazy work. You guys, look how dumb they covered us up with. Nobody was thinking like that, bro. Look how dumb they gave us a dope fiend move, gang. They pump faked us. They pump faked us, bro. But that was a pump fake, bro. They pump faked us and gave us one boat's coordinates, bro. Ain't nobody talking about that, but the Band-Aid gang is. You ain't heard. I've been on YouTube all day. Couldn't sleep last night on this damn case and didn't even want to get on it, gang. I didn't want to get on this stuff. But I couldn't. But September Virgo in the chat hit me. All my staff, all my teammates, Diamond Gang hit me. I ain't got no damn sleep.
Damn.
And that's what I do when I get on the case. I say what people scared to say, gang. But they just put a 1 in the chat if I'm right, Band-Aid gang. I'm trying to engage with the chat. Tell me, put a 1 in the chat if it's kind of weird that we don't got coordinates on the other 3 boats. And that's what we all missed. Thank you, gang. Thank you. We don't got coordinates on 3 other boats. They just gave us coordinates on 1 boat. They just did the dummy move. You know why? You know why they stalling this out? Stall me out, Debo. Stall me out. You know why they stall? You know why they stalling us out? Why they continue to keep putting them flocker cameras up, and they continue to hide the evidence for the Epstein, and as they continue to manipulate the people in the Middle East. That's why they stalling us out, Debo. When they do stuff like this, you know what they doing? They moving money around. Yeah, we gonna move money around. We gonna stall them out. Stall them out on this one right here. We tried to stall them out a little bit with the Carmelo Anthony. That ran dry. Let's stall them out a little bit more so they don't know what else they pulling over our head, gang.
Right.
See, this is just another distraction. But we're not looking at it as a distraction. But we were distracted, gang. We were distracted. You man, can you imagine what them people that go to school for that go to school for trickery is thinking right now? Now I gotta goddamn vanish. I probably can't go on for 2 days because I done said some shit. I done got myself in trouble again. Now they might take my channel. Now they gonna, next thing you know, I'm gonna lose my monetize because I said some stuff that ain't nobody else had done said. And I said what I said. I want to know. Somebody tag Nolan's mama and tag his stepdaddy and tell him that the Band-Aid gang said we want to track all the other 3 boats. But you know what they gonna tell him, gang? That data done ran out. That data only stay up there for 5 days. That data gone. Because ain't nobody asked. They say a closed mouth don't get fed. It's a sucker born every day. And I ain't one of them. I said, but on my channel, I keep a pocket full of Band-Aids. Because I hurt a whole bunch of people's feelings. Now let's continue. Now we gonna rock another show. What you finna do next, bruh? What you gonna do next, Band-Aid gang? This what we finna do. They trying to sabotage. Yeah, he trying to sabotage us. I'm gonna show y'all in real time how this dummy right here, and I didn't cuss, try to play us. You tried to play the game. That's what you did. But we already know what you want. We prepared for that. We finna listen to what your dumb ass. We gonna track you like. We finna track him, gang. Hold on, y'all. We finna track him. Hold on. Hold on, gang. I'm about to track him. Hold on. We finna track them. Hold on, y'all. It's right here. Another. Okay, watch this, gang. Let's track him. I don't want that up. Get out of here. Man, I need the charger. Watch how we do it. We got 224 people in here. Please hit the like button, y'all. Let's please manipulate the algorithm so we can keep this. I don't know. I should have made this a private live because now they gonna be like, that boy right there, he done said some shit he wasn't supposed to say. Now they gonna be looking for the other boat. Now they gonna be wondering what other 3 boats at. The boy done brought up the boat. The boy done brought up, somebody else on the internet done brought up that they didn't track the 3 boats. What's his name? Some funny looking boy over there on that channel with the guy that got the swollen eye and he got a whole bunch of Band-Aid gang. Somebody go over there and watch him and delete it off his channel. I'm going to go ahead and pay for every word he say he mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and flag my name when they say it. That's what they don't do. They done it to me once before. Now let's do them all type of ways. Let's track him. Now, this one give me the sense. Now, feel his body language. Why your arms crossed, bro? You hella young. What you hiding? See, right there, he holding in something. He holding it in, gang. What he holding it in? Why he so angry looking, gang?
To Horn Island.
So I wasn't, no, clear that up. No, I was not on the boat with them. Yes, I was a part of the group that was supposed to go out. So the only reason why I did not go on the boat is I was offered, I got begged to go, but my uncle, we also took 12 people out on our boat.
So you was begged to go, man, but you got 12 people on the boat. Boy, stop playing with us. 12 people going, nigga, you was ready to go. What you talking about? Only reason I didn't go, but it was 12 of us on that month. 12 of y'all on that boat game. Let's continue.
Not including us two, so 14. And my uncle knows the passengers wouldn't have helped. Generally wouldn't have helped with anything. With that many people on a boat, you need a little bit of help. So my uncle was like, hey, can you just ride out with me and you can go do your thing throughout the day on the island? I don't care. I don't need you.
So at the same time, he's still trying to separate himself from it, right? A little bit. That's what we seeing here. He's trying to separate himself from it, boy, a little bit. You done took your girl out there with you, gang. Now your uncle, he got to be a stupid dude for saying that he bringing 12 people on my boat and you finna tell me that they ain't finna help? If I got 12 people on my boat riding for free, somebody finna do, everybody on there gonna do what I said because you on my boat. Hey, bro, go hand me that. Go give me that anchor. You mean to tell me they ain't gonna help? What type of uncle you got? I can't make this up. And then number two, this another place where you went wrong, bro. Now mind y'all, Band-Aid gang, it's 12 people on that boat, gang. It's 12 people on that boat.
Wow.
And we ain't seen none of them. All through the stuff that we've been seeing, Band-Aid gang, it's like they gave us the pictures. Like they even went and selected the pictures they wanted to give us, gang. They even selected the pictures that they wanted to give us to put on social media. Because we ain't seen not now of the 12 people on that boat. We don't know what nobody looked like that was on the other boat. We haven't seen. We seen it one boat, gang. That's by design.
Need help to get out there and then pick everything up. Because I know all these people are going to be drunk and they're not going to want to do the extras that nobody sees about going out on the boat, right? And so I told Wyatt that, and oops, my bad. But I told him.
Good.
I told him that.
Right there. You're going to jail. Right there. I'd have came and got him then. Shit. He fucked up right there, gang. Boy, you can't put nothing past us. Look at this. Look, this how you know he messed up right here, look.
That nobody sees about going out on the boat, right? And so I told Wyatt that, and oops, my bad. But I told him.
It's good.
Boom. You're going to jail. Put a 1 in the chat if you just saw what I saw, gang. Dr. E, did you just see? For some reason, what I captured, he felt like he shouldn't have said Wyatt's name right there for some reason. That he stuttered. Are you getting that same type of vibe, Band-Aid gang?
Yep.
For some odd reason, he stuttered bad in something he didn't want to say. Right there is a super red flag, gang, and I capture everything. He was so shook and hurt how he said it. Look at it. One more time. This is what I do. I dig it in.
Do the extras that nobody sees about going out on the boat, right? And so I told Wyatt that, and oops, my bad. But I told him.
It's good.
I told him that, and I told.
Bro, he just jacked his Mac, bro. Bro, you just jacked your whole Mac when you did that, gang. Thank you. I mean, yeah, he messed up. He telling, gang. That right there is a super red flag on this channel. Now let's go.
Told him everything, which was go to plan. We were leaving a little bit earlier than them. I was gonna try to have a spot saved out. And Nolan calls me at 11 o'clock. I missed his phone call. Called me twice. I missed both of them. I saw.
So he missed Nolan. Nolan called him twice, gang. And he never meant this. He calls him back. You know why? He knew, allegedly to me, that Nolan was going to get whooped. He don't want to have no, he don't want, I don't want nothing to do with it. Because guess what? Bart in town. Bart going to save them all. They going to have free football, pro tickets, and everything. Now, let's continue.
Wyatt and Nolan on the boat. They pulled right in front of our boat. And they were screaming. I turned my head and I was like, yo, there's a spot over there, where they end up anchoring out. I helped them set their stern anchor. From the time they showed up until now, going back to it, 20 minutes before they left, I was with them. That's who I was with. I spent all day with them.
You know you done fucked up, don't you? I got him again. You see, when you look at shit over and over, you just gotta let. Now he said 20 minutes before they left, he was with him. But shit, didn't he leave first? Band-Aid gang, put a one in the chat. We got him again. He said he left first, right? Because he had just gotten in a fight. He was kicking rocks. So he said 20 minutes before they left? Gang, we on your ass, bro. We gonna knock the rubber out the elastic in your drawers. Somebody let them know we got the video right here. Yeah, we got it. We got it. This right here gonna put him. Yeah, me, Nancy Grace, and Don Lemon. We gonna get your ass. You going to jail. I'll make sure you go to. You lucky I don't call them goddamn police. I can't even call Mississippi. Cause you can't even call Mississippi. I'm trying to figure out who I can call. Somebody chop this video and send it to them folks. Listen what he had done said.
Now, going back to it, 20 minutes before they left, I was with them. That's who.
20 minutes before they left, he was with them. So they didn't leave right away. So that 20 minutes, something going on. It took them 20 minutes to pill out. It took them 20 minutes to burn out, y'all. So let's continue.
Who I was with. I spent all day with them. Minus the morning time before they got out there. But from the time they got out there to the time they went back in, I was with them. Those are my friends, man. Those are my guys.
Yeah, I want to get a few more details.
I'm sorry about that.
I know that. Yeah, go ahead. I know that you were all over the news because there was a perceived fight. People, this is the thing that gets me, and I want to clarify this. When I saw the video that they put out on the internet claiming that Nolan was saying, "Give me my effing phone back," the coach came out, Nolan's coach came out and said immediately he knew it wasn't Nolan's voice. And obviously it wasn't Nolan's voice because you were the one that was
me yelling,
in there yelling. You got into an altercation with somebody. What happened after that? Like,
so you see where we at? Now paint the picture, gang. So now we know that in that part where he about to fight, everybody said with Nolan wanting his phone. That's why I say Nolan was fighting him or fighting Bart. I think Bart, allegedly. And he took the rap to cover up. Because now he come and say, oh, that was my voice. No, it ain't know whose voice it was. He wanted his phone. Y'all took his phone. See, with a phone coming in, what they need your phone for, gang? What would you scream and give you your phone for, gang? Let's continue. So there was a fight. So between there, Nolan, because allegedly, I think it was Nolan. They know who it was. So in that time where he was going to fight, because now he's saying he's mad. So this is showing that it was a fight right there where he's screaming he want his phone. So now we got to determine, was that Nolan fighting right then? And that fight wasn't him fighting. He just took the rap and he knew it would look good. And to the media, when he said it was him, because he's black, he got the black voice. But the fight was really Nolan. Let's continue.
Put me in your place where the fight is over, whatever happened. Nolan is somewhere, you're somewhere, you're hanging out. And when was the last time that you saw Nolan before you left Horn Island?
So after the fight, I didn't stay on Horn Island much longer. So the objective, so I was really upset. So with you hear me yelling, my uncle had told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. Obviously, I was really mad and I wanted to fight, wanted to get off. What wasn't smart, man. Mm-hmm. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling. And shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes.
That's not what they asked you, though, gang. He asked him, Band-Aid gang. This how you know he nervous. He asked you, bro, when the last time you saw Nolan? You done got all up on the boat. Now you finna leave now. He ain't even answer that. Are y'all paying attention? He didn't even answer that. But this is what I'm finna call bullshit right now. You want me to tell you how to call bullshit? He gonna say he saw Nolan on the island with the girl and they bumped hands. Nigga, didn't y'all all go out there together? You had seen them already then. You should have been seeing your best friend, gang. Because y'all came out there together. You trying to say you was there a little bit earlier. But when they pulled up on the boat, you seen your best friend, gang. That's your best friend. So now why you only seeing him later on? Come on, gangs. Cut the crap. Cut the crap, gang. We doing you all type of ways. Some Marcus Jones say, I haven't heard anyone directly answer any questions yet. Maybe he's too high. He's on something. Now we're gonna talk about that too. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. I got all type of stuff that's different than what people talking about. Watch.
What wasn't smart, man. Mm-hmm. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling, and shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got to a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions, that they were ready to get me back to land because I was really mad. I was genuinely really mad. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him, us joking around, and I kept going. And not even 10 minutes.
So why did he make a slick comment and kept going? Possibly he started it all. There it is. Let me pin that. Possibly he started it all. He's saying that he was so mad they wanted to get him up out of there. He's a hothead. You know, that's what they call him, hothead. He a hothead, gang. He a hothead, bro. He's a hothead, bro. He started it all. If it probably wasn't for him kicking off anything, the whole vibration out there probably would have been totally different. You ought to be ashamed to go out there and act the ass in front of all them white people anyway. You know what they gonna say anyway. So why go out there and act the ass? Let's continue.
After that is when I got into a fight.
So you get into a fight. Now we finna do my. Now watch. I ain't even gotta play no more of that. Yeah, watch this. See, now let me cook. Let me cook. Let me cook. I'm gonna have your face. I'm gonna have his face looking like Warren's face on this back screen right here. I'm making take a deep breath. Y'all take a deep breath. Y'all take a deep breath. Now here's the thing. When you saw, after you got into that fight, you mean to tell me you ain't seen Nolan no time after that? After he fought? Do that make sense, Dr. E? What was Nolan? What your best friend when you out there kicking up dust? Now, if he was your best friend, he should have been out there either fighting with you or trying to get your ass up out of there.
That part.
You need to be telling the Band-Aid gang, when you got in that fight, Nolan was right there by your side since that's your best friend. And Nolan was like, come on, get up out of here. Come on, bro, don't fight him. Or Nolan should have been bumping with you. Because I know with my best friend, we don't fight fair. We gonna jump your ass. I probably know you can already beat the dude up, but I won't smoke too. Because you messing with my partner. So we gonna ride. So tell me when you was out here funking with this dude, why Nolan wasn't over there helping you or breaking it up? Where was Nolan when this whole big old fight was going down?
Yep.
Where was Nolan? Your key person that you should have been saying to put it in the mix if you was going to lie right. You should have said Nolan came over there and says, calm down, even though you was lying. Boy, you don't know how to lie right. That's that dope. See, that's that dope that you was allegedly getting from them parents. You was going over there to bargaining people get the pill doctor. See, the pill doctor, now allegedly, what I had done heard, allegedly, that they were swinging. Yeah, that family swinging. They were swinging and dinging. And you know white people like that now. Because you notice, they party with them kids. They be partying with them kids. It'd be a whole house full of boys. I was like, where are all the girls at, gang? What's going on, bro? Where are all the girls at? I had done heard from September Virgo, I'm dry snitching, that word on the street that family was some swingers. So now, boy, we gonna do them all type of ways. So now we gonna get on this one. Hold on, let me find it. I think it's on this one. Did I get it? Hold on. That's on this one, ain't it, Angel? Well, I got the what happened about the dope? They was on the dope. Yeah, let's do them all type of ways. Now I told y'all this, right? Remember I told y'all this. Thank you for backing me up, September Virgo. So now this is let's keep tracking. Y'all getting the best over here. Yeah, I can't make this shit up. Now remember, Band-Aid gang, I had came out with the video where I got the 81,000 views, all right? But I was gonna do that the day before. Yeah, I've been had that. But didn't I have done told y'all that phone conversation between that dispatch they was talking code. And it was crazy because when I found this clip yesterday, I said, baby, look, I just said, Angel, look, told you, I'm not the only one thinking like that. So now listen to this, gang.
That phone call was them speaking in code. Jeffrey Akerson? Yeah, try that. Try Jeffrey Akerson. hey, Captain, here's a bunch of kids. Yeah, they just sound so distressed. They said the boat is sinking, and I don't know. He just told me about his grandfather, but he couldn't give me any more information. And, I don't really have time to really help any non-members at this point. Yeah, but like, check, see, Jeffrey's is, yeah. Oh, Jeffrey. Oh, his grandfather. Yeah, he called me and he said that, his grandson, they figured it out. They don't need any help at this time. But let me talk to the grandson, and then I'll call the grandpa. Click. Y'all. They're speaking in code. The captain is in on it. Vicky not in on it. That's why Vicky actually panicking. Captain cool, calm, collected. I don't really have time for any non-member.
Now see, she must have didn't get. Now listen, y'all. I'ma just be real. I could have let that ride, but I'm not letting it ride like that. I don't. Now she must have didn't listen to because a lot of them didn't have the recording that we had. When Vicky said, which is the dispatch lady, is there a living individual?
Yeah, right.
Or, is there a living individual? That was code talk too. But she's getting the thinking, which I know was code between the captain too. But if she probably didn't see the video that we brought out, where that dispatch lady says, is there a living individual on that boat? They wanted to know, was mission accomplished. So, yes, they were talking in code. That's what made me think it was bigger. Like when you hear a cult, when you hear Dixie Mob, when you hear Ku Klux Klan, when you hear these crime groups, I believe that this group of people are elites. Look at the jobs, gang. Now let's continue.
But Jeffrey's a member, so why did you? Because Vicky wouldn't let it go. So now the grandpa did call me, and they said they got to figure it out. So they're sinking, but all of a sudden they good? No. Yeah, let me talk to the grandson so we can. Y'all in on it. Captain is in on it. The tow company, the captain, yeah, they gonna tow a boat to another island, a boat carrying Nolan. Why are they doing all this? Why does it seem like so many people are involved? A judge is going to lie outwardly. A sheriff is going to lie outwardly. They're putting careers on. The governor is going to lie outwardly. Because it's an orchestrated system. They got a clean up network down in Jackson County, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. That's why a judge can confidently herself in what is supposed to be an ongoing investigation. That's why they can in your face tell you blatantly it's a drowning, not even showing an attempt to investigate.
Thank you.
Like that's how, even though the whole world is looking at them, they can still continue to push forward Warren and Trace and Trayson and Javon to come lie to us because it's a network. It's a network. They got a clean up network. This is not their first rodeo. They've been done this. A lot of accidents that they've helped cover up, that they helped clean up after. So yeah, they are going to fight tooth and nail and take very aggressive moves because you expose one of them, you expose it all, you expose the network, and they're done for it. Too many powerful people involved for that to happen. They're going to fight to the death. And so will we. They spoke.
Did y'all hear one of Nolan's real friends speaking about what he believes happened? Listen to this.
Listen to what Nolan's friends say, gang. Listen to what Nolan's friends say. Now remember, we heard Warren. Right. And you heard Officer Tatum saying on his live that allegedly Nolan them. Well, he tried to blame it on Nolan. Was skiing. That Nolan was a skier. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He liked to ski. But we heard Warren sniff his nose, right? Early on this live, you heard Warren up there. He said, sniff that big snorter. You goddamn, what was that? I don't want to cuss. What's his name? That was married to Madonna. What was that man name that was married to Madonna? What's his name, Dr. E? That played on Colors. Sean Penn looking.
Oh yeah, Sean Penn, yeah.
Sean Penn was snorting that stuff. Sean Penn looking dude. So now here it is. Now listen, he say they was skinned. That's the stuff. Yep, Sean Penn. That's what the cool officer Tatum said that was the rumor.
That's a code word for snow.
Yeah, they was skinned. He was going skiing. So now listen what Nolan Friend had done said.
They're gonna fight to the death, and so will we. They spoke.
Did y'all hear one of Nolan's real friends speaking about what he believes happened? Listen to this.
I know that friend group that he was with is known for, I don't know if I can say this substance, but they're known for doing a certain substance. And, you know, some of us who have spoke to Nolan prior to the island date, we
Hold on. There was more audio to this video. Hold on, gang. Let me see. If that's okay, yeah, it was short. So now there's another piece. So now the friend said they was going skiing. They was doing a substance, right? So we already popped. So now let's get to this. Let's wipe them down, y'all. Let's take it all the way. Let's take it all the way down. So now, y'all hit that like button. Let's manipulate that algorithms. And thank y'all for coming. Make sure y'all sub up to the channel, y'all.
Thank y'all for the jewels too.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
I want to thank my team. I want to thank my team for giving me these wonderful videos and, you know, doing what we do. I thank y'all for the super chat, the jewels. Thank you guys so much. Let me get to this real quick. Play this video. Let's go from this one. What did I do? Where is it? Right here. We got so much stuff on this line. I'm just killing them with this chronicle order. I'm doing them. Hold on.
No, you gotta go up. That's all of them. You basically did all 8 videos.
No, I didn't. Baby girl. There, let's see what we got right here, gang. This might have been one I played, but I got some more. I might have played this. Let's see.
We got more, y'all.
I'm cooking.
We just ain't uploading yet.
And then I'm going to show you some history on this island.
Okay, this is my full Nolan Wells timeline with my supporting evidence. There were 3 boats in their group that day: Palm Beach, the Triton, and the Tideline. By the way, if you like my work, you can support me in my bio, because by the end of this video, I'll be dropping never before seen evidence. Anyway, back to the timeline. Warren said they got there at 10:30, even though the GPS said that they dropped their waypoint at 11:19. He said the Tidecraft, the Palm Beach, and the Triton were all like anchored up next to each other. About 3 o'clock, he gets into a fight with some stranger who didn't like the way that he was talking to his girlfriend, because, I mean, look at the way he was talking in this interview. I don't blame them. And they had a fist fight. His uncle was like, "We're getting the hell out of here."
I remember at one point in time, I look over and I see my uncle, and my uncle's yelling at me to get in the boat. I stopped fighting. As soon as me and him made eye contact, I got an uncle. I got in the boat.
Then Warren says that his brother was also involved in the same fight.
They'll come up to me and say, "Hey, your brother just got in a fight." And obviously, I have a younger brother, and that's what she was talking about, and I was freaked out. So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody, put my drink down, and walked over there. And my brother was kind of angry, and, you know, there's a lot going on, but someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, "Oh, I just got in a fight." And this guy punched me in the face, and I punched him right back. Then I went to the ground. My brother put him in an armbar. And Nolan involved in this? Absolutely not. When I was over there, there was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age, and I mean, Nolan, I never saw Nolan over there. Absolutely not. And okay, sorry, I just lost myself.
So you get ready to go. There's an issue with the boat.
Okay, yeah.
This is
up to that.
Yeah. So the fight happened. Your brother was scuffled. You know, I'm assuming that it was cleared up.
Right.
You got your brother out of this situation, and then how did you find out that this boat is sinking?
Well, I walked back over, and like we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, you know, I wasn't thinking anything about it. I told my brother. I pulled my brother off the beach. I was just like, "Listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down." I mean, he was calm, but I didn't want anything else to happen, you know. And so once I got back over the boat, I got on the Triton, and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom, and I was freaked out because I'm good friends with Wyatt, and that was his boat, and no water's coming out, no access water's coming out, and it was a big issue because I think the reason was because there's so many people getting on and off the boat. At some point, the boat was very, very crowded, and there was just a lot of people on, so that it drags water.
Yeah, that's not how boats work. Boats don't flood getting in and out of water. Mind you, I'd also like you guys to see that they are in much shallower water than they claim. But I digress. As someone whose parents have had several boats in their life, boats don't just start sinking because people are getting in and out of the water. I think they were trying to run as well because there is an underage kid who just got into a physical fist fight on the island. All of them are drinking and driving boats, so they're trying to hightail it out of there. Now, Warren goes into so much detail that he accidentally explains what really happened, but not in the way that he was saying it.
I think every time we were out there for a couple hours, the boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater, and so the motor wouldn't trim down. I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it trimmed down, and then it come right back up.
Now, trimming the motor means they move the propeller closer to the transom and it lowers the bow, which means they can drive through choppy water without risking that choppy water to come into the boat. Failing to trim your boat up and taking off at a high speed can not only overheat very quickly and cause it to short, but if waves are high, it won't cut through the wake and it will cause the boat to porpoise and possibly have rough, choppy waters get on your boat.
So, I mean, on the way out there, it was pretty calm. I think it was blowing like 3 or 4 knots. I mean, the waters were clear. It was a great day to be on the water. Sunshine, not cloudy at all. And I mean, it was a great day to be out there on 4th of July. And so, I mean, we followed each other out, and I mean, it was calm. It was calm. On the way back, it was a little more.
So, let's do some history. Because we know we broke some shit down, right? So, I want y'all to remember what I'm saying. What we got so far, and let people know, gang, we got 3 boats that was not tracked. 3 boats that wasn't tracked because they giving us this, and then I'm gonna give y'all some history on that island. Well, not just about y'all heard that it was a place where the slaves can escape and get into the military and all of that, right? Yeah, y'all know that, right? Yeah, y'all know that part. But I got some other shit. Yeah, did I mention that? I must left it out. And I asked the chat GPT, I said, hey, has there been more black unalivings on that island? It said, yeah, but it wouldn't tell me who it was. I said, damn. They even went and rigged up the chat GPT during the time. I said, if it knew that there was more blacks that been unalived on that island, I wanted to know some names because, I get all up in your business. So anyway, gang, let's get into it. Now, Dr. E, you tracking with me?
Yep, right here.
Tracking? All right, gang, everybody tracking? All right, let's track. So now, watch this. Now, remember, we got 3 boats. And now we know that you can turn off your location and where you going on those boats. Due to Jerry, due to Jerry, because they went to Jerry's house. Yeah, they went to Jerry's house. They went to Jerry's house, gang. The man that owned the boat lot that can turn off everything if he want to on where he went and where he navigated to. So let's continue.
Thinking, can y'all please count?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
At 4:31, the boat leaves Horn Island and it is towed approximately 3 miles, and then the tow ends. So after 3 miles, they go back to the original.
So, again, don't let them finesse us, Band-Aid gang. Because what we're looking at, right, Dr. E? Because I like to be precise on the stuff that I do. So now, here's the thing. They just told us, Band-Aid gang, and this is what we want to know. This is what we want to know. Thank you, Nurse 59. This is what we want to know, Nurse 59.
Board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
At 4:30.
What they just show us right now, gang? They just showed us a tow truck, gang. What you mean they just showed you a tow truck? Marcus Jones, they just showed us a tow truck. So what you thinking? I'm thinking when you see the tow truck is somebody professional had then came out there, right, Dr. E?
Right.
like a towboat. Is you telling me that the boat that posts the tow came out there? Because you know what? We ain't seen not even nobody on no other boats. All we see is a boat being pulled by some string. But we don't know if the guards came out there and towed that boat. We ain't see so what did it? Was it a professional towboat that came out there? Because what y'all just showed us on here was a towboat. So that's what we thinking. She said the boat was towed. That sounds professional to me, gang. And that's how we gonna hold it down. So now we need to know, did the guards come out there? Did the other people that working for y'all come out there and tow that boat? And made it look professional? Getting off the water professionally? And the other boats? Because we're not tracking 3 boats, gang. 3 boats. One of them boats could have had Nolan on them. Let's continue.
The boat leaves Horn Island and it is towed approximately 3 miles, and then the tow ends. So after 3 miles, they go back to the original dock. They arrive at 5:44 p.m. So it looks like this is where Horn Island is, and this is where the original dock is that I am referring to. El Camino Real Road is in Gulf Hills, Mississippi, which is right above Ocean Springs.
So now, I'm going to give you another key. Gang. Now, the boat, Dr. E, towed for 3 miles, Band-Aid gang. And all of a sudden, now the boat is working again. Right, Dr. E? So meaning that if the boat is working again, now they mobbing. Now they full throttle. They mobbing. One. So meaning that there's no more water getting in the boat. So mind you, gang, let's be for real. If the boat is towed for 3 miles, gang, and now all of a sudden it started running good again. They got it running good, right? So then they said, remember when he told the story, Warren said they stopped at some place and they jumped out and got in the water and put the plug in.
I remember hearing that. They jumped in the water.
So
yep.
Why ain't they showing us where they stopped and put the plug in? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I don't miss a beat.
Oh, thank you, nerd.
So they just showed us a straight route going straight to the crib. But clearly he told us, Warren said they went somewhere, they stopped. Wyatt jumped, he said we jumped in the water because Wyatt wanted to put the plug in the boat. So if y'all doing all that running like that, gang, the plug should already been in. Y'all didn't have to stop and put the plug in. But somewhere you said you stopped and put the plug in. But what they giving us on this navigation is that y'all went straight to where y'all was going. Stop playing with my channel. Stop playing with my channel. So now look, gang.
So I'm wondering if this is the house where they got the phone. Now, the boat travels to Fort Bayou. At 6:06, the boat returns to the original dock. Then, from the original dock, the boat goes back to Fort Bayou, and then they go to the boat launch, and it is
the boat. See how you see the trickery? This shit right here is witchcraft, gang. They witchcrafting us, gang. This is nothing but witchcraft, bro. Thank you, Marcus. Gang, this is witchcraft. Why is it witchcraft? Bro, they just showing us no other boats. They showing us what? Look how they spent us. We dizzy right now. Am I right or wrong, Dr. E?
Yeah. There's a lot of back and forth.
They telling us what one boat went. What about the other boat? Can't you give us where the other boat that was pulling this boat went to? Where the other 3 boats go, gang? This is witchcraft, bro. They thought we was dope fiends or something, gang. They thought this is the stuff that I'm saying, bro. If this is not brought to the forefront, what are we supposed to do? Turn it into the watch riot again? What the hell? Now, if they let this ride, something is wrong. Big time. Now, that's some devilish stuff right there. They done gave us one route of one boat, but there's 3 boats missing. Come on, gang. That boy could have been on any boat. That showed that they wasn't tracking. They think that we're not tracking. Nobody has said this on the internet yet. I'm the only one that has said this. Where's the other boats? Where did they go? Where's their GPS? Y'all supposed to be on every single boat that was on there. Every single child that was on that boat. You letting this person say, buddy, my buddy, my buddy. That's clearly a cover-up. Let's continue.
Put onto the trailer and moved by the vehicle. Did they drop people off at the original dock, travel to Fort Bayou, pick somebody up, and go back to that original dock? From there, why was there an hour and 13 minutes?
Man, look, bro, I'm so mad right now, bro. I don't even know who to trust. I just want to turn this stuff off because we done got too deep off any game. I'm madder than 10 white people. I'm madder than 10 white people right now. You know why? Bro, you got to look at it in the perspective that I'm looking at it, gang. Tell me how stupid we look at right now, looking at what I'm just look at where they telling us to go, but they ain't still give us the other 3 boats, gang. Man, I don't even want to look at it no more. I feel stupid. I feel stupid looking at the route that they just gave me for 1 boat, but it was 3 of them. That look like trickery, don't it? Tell me that ain't witchcraft.
It's like buy anything.
They got us focused on 1 goddamn boat and they 3 boats. Even when it's, yeah.
That's how they feel. They don't believe this.
Man, Doctor, how you feel about that?
They like I said, they selling us anything. They like, y'all gonna believe this because we telling y'all that. This is not 1954, 64, like I was saying earlier. Too many people watch TV shows and movies. We didn't grow up off of that stuff. So we know fake stuff when we see it. Even though we can get involved and get into it, we know fake from real. We just do. You know, if you're about what, I would say about 70 and under, 70, 75 and under, you pretty much know fake stuff, because everybody has grown up with television and Hollywood, sci-fi movies and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I've not covered everybody. So at the end of the day, it's like y'all running some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like we ain't trying to hear that. That don't even sound right. It ain't the math. How we say the math ain't math. It ain't adding up.
Yep. Absolutely.
It don't sound right when you get to saying something. And you say something too far to the left, we're gonna be like, that don't even sound right. It sounds like a lie.
I mean,
Cap.
I'm literally,
Cap.
I didn't talk myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I did it for the people, and I hit some key pointers today, and probably changed a lot of people's frame of thought. But this right here, Band-Aid Gang, I didn't mean to take y'all down this rabbit hole, because I just took you down a rabbit hole, right? And here's the rabbit hole that make me want to turn this live stream off right now, bro. Like, no bullshit. Bro, we sitting here looking like some kids because we tracking 1 boat, but there was 3 boats. That mentally messes with me, bro.
Yeah.
This is
Once
a high-profile case. A high-profile case. And you mean high-profile investigation. And you mean to tell me that you're giving me 1 goddamn tracking of 1 boat?
But see how the media kind of pushes, like
Yes,
they push their narrative. They push their narrative so strong. But like I keep saying like I said from the very beginning, doesn't it seem like some kind of test? Like it's like a
yes.
quiz kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to see how y'all gonna react. But like you kind of mentioned a little earlier, I'm just gonna throw this out there, just kind of be real with it. We're not the group of the 50s and 60s, meaning like, we're not even what the 90s were anymore, technically. I mean, when we had uprisings, and they call it, because of race and all this other kind of stuff, it was forces and it was a massive push of emotions and organizations that led groups. This is why they pretty much watered down those groups so they don't exist anymore. So when you think about now, like I said, the gangs and stuff now, they have no real unity when it comes to any kind of political push. You notice, like I gotta just speak on it. The gangs are not political enough to go against the government. They're part of the government. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
I'm talking about for all the gangs. I'm not even gonna go through the list of gangs. I'm just gonna say all of them in the urban and communities. None of them align. Like I'm just gonna put them in comparison with the Black Panthers. They supposed to have the same organization as the Black Panthers, but they have no political push at all. I said it, and I'll say it one more time. They have no political pull or are against the government at all, like the Black Panthers did. The Black Panthers challenged the government. They challenged the government on their own BS. None of these groups today that exist since the 60s all the way to now that came after the Black Panthers, none of those groups ever went up to the Washington, D.C., got on television, made videos, rap songs, or anything. I'm going to use all the platforms they could have used. They used none of them things to push the agenda, besides maybe somebody like Tupac. Tupac was going to probably be one of the first ones that would have been that. He went from thug life to probably being a politician if he was living today. I'm going to put that on him. Because the way he was, he had that kind of pull because he was a descendant of a Black Panther. Anybody else, though? All these other organizations, I know no names. Y'all know who they are. All these other ones, they do nothing when it comes to politics. So if you have no kind of, if you have no kind of political push,
Ben Crump, that's what I'm saying. They all with it because even Ben Crump ain't even asked, and he's supposed to be a high-powered lawyer. They need to go and let me be the lawyer then. Because if I was Ben Crump, Ben Crump didn't ask them why I need to sit down votes win.
He has became with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson was.
Right, but he doing his job. I'm not mad at him, but he stuttered too much for me.
But you got to look at it like this. They always put one. The government always put one person in place. Like now we learned about Jesse Jackson's whole thing. Jesse Jackson was pretty much working with the government. Al Sharpton works with the government. I can name a couple more politicians too, but a lot of these politicians that were put in place in cities, right? They was planted mayors, Congress people, whatever they may have been. A lot of these people were plants to keep and gatekeep us as a community because the organization, like I was just talking about, the Black Panthers was not part of that kind of. We're going to sit down and just have one person to lead and tell everybody be quiet and everybody be quiet. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what the Black Panthers were more like. Look, we're going to come in the masses. We're going to have about 12 leaders up here, and we're going to do it this way. But what they did, they kill all the leaders. They take all the leaders out. When the voices and the strengths and the strategies and the organizers were eliminated, that's when he was able to destroy it. And they also, the way they was teaching and the way they was doing things, they made sure they couldn't do that anymore because they put their own basic political gangs in there, like ones I'm talking about, on all these different cities. And it has no structure. I'm just going to say for the LA gangs, they have no organized structure other than OG, double OG, and triple OG. And there is no such thing as one person who gets up there and is a spokesman. They got founders, but they had no political push because they was teenagers themselves that wanted to be like the Black Panthers. They wanted to be like the guys in the neighborhood that they looked up to. And those guys were either fighters, weightlifters, bodybuilders, or they was either political guys that was out there actually, trying to make a revolution. So they took that mixture of what they thought was militant and gangster of the hood, and they made those organizations from Chicago to LA, from New York and any other state I made a miss. But my point is that they had no political power because a lot of them, you got to look at the difference too. A lot of the Black Panthers were college educated people that was just a little radical when it came to their views. Now you look at the people that organized the gangs, they had no education pretty much. Most of them didn't even finish elementary school.
Yeah.
Different mentality. So when they get to the point of being grown and organizing things, their mind is not there to organize because they have a 6th grade and 7th grade mentality compared to a college master doctor degree kind of person like even Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. They educated themselves to be on a college level, even in speaking. Malcolm was trained to speak, but he was not educated like the thugs and the gangsters were. But he educated himself how to speak and how to articulate and how to have people follow and instruct them. We don't have that anymore. So I say all that to just say that that's one reason why I said all that to say it won't be a organized push for anything in our communities. I gotta say this on the last part. Our communities are not what they were in the 70s and 80s. We had 80% of a population living in this side of the city, 90% of them living on this side of the city, whatever. We don't have that anymore. We so spread up and broken up that it's not enough of us in a part of any city to do anything strong like that movement was there in the 60s.
So
we're not strong like that.
Let me ask you a question.
We're not unified.
That part.
Go ahead.
You get educated over here, gang. Big facts. Big facts. So, Doctor, I want to ask you this, and I'm going to engage real quick with I liked this comment. They aren't even covering up right. Okay. They aren't even covering up right and expect us to just accept bull crap.
Yeah.
They're beyond stupid. How do they run the game on us? They can't.
Exactly. See, exactly like I said.
And I'm gonna say this too. I think they were better off. This is why I know it's a plan, right? It's being corrupt. I'm not saying nothing against them, bro, but something's fishy because you're doing all of that, but I think they should have got Manny and Roy. They should have got them a Jewish lawyer or something to do this. Because you mean to tell me being corrupt ain't asking about no other 3 votes?
No, my question is this right quick. On just him, for example. Why is he always the only solo again out of a nation of millions, right? Why is he only every time a civil rights issue happens, like I was saying about the selected ones like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton? Why do we have one person that's pretty much on the government side that always is pushed to the front and said, you be the spokesman for all the black people? But yet we got so many educated people going to Howard. I'm gonna put the schools out there, university and FAM and all these other schools, going to schools to be lawyers and stuff like that, and civil lawyers. Why we don't hear none of those people in these different cities and different chapters and college, HBCUs and stuff like that? Why we don't have more up and coming students getting on a platform and saying something?
We dropping gems tonight. You dropping gems tonight, bro. You dropping gems tonight. Y'all hit that like button, man. You get the real deal over here, y'all. And we're not going against being Crump. No,
we're just bringing out the facts.
But I'm just saying, again, we're just keeping it real. Like these are simple arithmetic mathematics.
Like we say about the math ain't math, but we can't move a movement and people and masses with one solo, I'm going to say, kind of government spokesman on behalf of the community to speak and lead us. It's too many of us that's too educated, too knowledgeable, and going to school for all this stuff that I'm talking about. That's way more educated than I am in law and politics and want to be lawyers and want to be doctors and all these other kind of things. They can start speaking up about when the government be doing this bullshit. We gotta just start calling it. But it really take those educated circles to organize and do that. And I will put that on the backs of those who may be listening, fraternities, sororities, and those people that may be in the Masonic groups. What are you here for?
Right.
I say that, and I said it.
Back? Why exactly? I did. Why are they holding back? Like, why are they? It's like he's part of it. Now, I'm not gonna say what I really could say because I don't want to hurt nobody. But I've seen some pictures with the stepdad in Masonic clothes. Nolan's stepdad. Also the pill doctor Jerry works with Nolan's mom. So, you know, we don't want to do that to you guys. Like, you can't feed a baby steak, but we are very woke on this channel. So what are we going to do from this point that we can do for the community? That what we can do to keep it in algorithm.
What we doing?
First of all, we got 100.
What we doing? We drop them gems on you and be out the box and bring you issues that, like I said, like I was saying, like the Black Panthers would have did. We're going to speak about things that may be a little uncomfortable. We may speak about things that's going to be reality. We may speak about things that's going to be make you think like, damn, I didn't think about that. So that's what we got to do to get that pool circulating. Then you cause movement and friction. You see what I'm saying? Because as long as everybody going on with their own shenanigans and only chasing the dollar or whatever it may be now, that's not going to solve any problems. That's not going to do anything. And going out there, busting down a window, go get a big flat screen TV is not going to do it either. Come on, man.
Y'all see what my general in my mind said down there? She said, stay woke, people. She said, stay woke. So what do we do on this channel? To all the new people, first of all, we get at least over 100 likes to manipulate the algorithm because all we got. That's all we got is the algorithm. So what else do? We go right back to the basics. We go right back to that same picture and we keep on hollering out, they gave us 3 boats. I mean, they didn't give us, they gave us one route of 1 boat. We dig it in. We attack. We dig that in. We go back to the fight. We dig that in. We stay and we add on to what we cooked up today. And hell yeah, we cooked. We cooked today. Now we know, and allegedly, that fight, allegedly, I think, was Nolan fighting, allegedly, Bart, or being jumped. And he was probably choked out and brought back on the boat and did not come back conscious. Because they all cut out at the same time. But what boat was Nolan on? Because we only tracking 1 boat. But there were 3 boats that was not tracked. So what are we going to do? We're going to not start a new narrative because it's not a narrative, it's facts. And they tried to pull the wool over our eyes and made us see 1 boat. That's where you messed up at. So we remind the people in the algorithms game, I'm going to go right back. I'm going to discuss that. I'm going to take that dumbass map and throw it right back in your face, along with some new stuff. But I got to start it back over. And I got to repeat it until they start paying attention and know that we know that they needed to track 3 boats and that they can turn off that system. Did I mention that? I must have left that part out. So let's do a little history before we get out of here, gang. We got nothing but power over here. They ain't got no power. Yeah, they ain't got no power. We got the power. So what do we do? Now, Dr. E, let's do them all type of ways. Now, they had done said, now you go on the internet, right, gang, Band-Aid gang, we going to cook again. We going to end with this one. And I'm going to come right back on you. And I'm going to dig it in. I'm cooking. So, we need to get 100 likes up in here. MFD, Nurse 59, how many likes we got? Otherwise, I ain't showing the next video. I turn it off. Because I hold the remote to your YouTube. I know when to turn it up and turn it down. We got the remote. Shouts out to Don Lemon and Nancy Grace. Tell Nancy Grace I need a job. Somebody send Nancy Grace an email, tell them get Dr. Ian and us over there. We'll run that. We'll get it right. Yeah, I said that. So here's what we're going to do. Band-Aid gang. So now what they had taught us, Dr. E, they said this island was where slaves escaped, right? That must have been a hell of an escaping slave, because I ain't never do those slaves that could get away and then build a boat. Let's talk about. So they telling us the slave escaped, and if he can swim all the way, which took that boat an hour, if the slave can swim for an hour and get to Horn Island, he could be set free. And he ought to set him free if he can swim that far. They try to make it seem like they just black people was over there celebrating on Horn Island. You know that's a goddamn lie. But that's what they're trying to show us. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. We want to look at this. Do what we want. Because something ain't right on that island. Because ain't nobody telling. Think about it, gang. Ain't nobody dry snitching. Even the ops ain't snitching. There was a fight on that island, and the ops ain't snitching. The ops know what's going on. This shit that made the national news. So the ops know about Nolan. But the ops that got in a fight with somebody they hate, they ain't called and said nothing. Ain't nobody called and done said nothing. You tell me. That give me funny vibes. That bring me funny
they working
vibes.
together. See, these are them organized groups that was against the other groups. You got to look at one group of people back in the day was sit on the agenda, and another one came along years later to anti-attack them. See what I'm saying? The way the politics was run. All this stuff goes back to politics again and racial tension. So that was the cause. That was the root of all this stuff. And it's still those organizations working brotherhoods and cliques to this day. And like you said, they're on the political side. They're in the law side. They're in the doctors, all kind of stuff, courthouses. They're in organized strategic places. And that's why these groups, I'm going to say one last time again, all these international, not international, but national terrorist organizations have been created in right here in America. But yet, you know, the military doesn't go against them either. You notice?
That part. Y'all better listen
Because,
to my general.
Because when I was sworn in as a veteran, they said we supposed to, protect the citizens between, international and domestic. That's the other word I was looking for. Domestic terrorists. Well, some of these racial groups and stuff like that, these societies and organizations, they are considered they're considered domestic terrorists. Trying to get it right, the domestic terrorists. But yet, the government, like the National Guard, stuff like that, they don't raid these places. They don't go in and drop bombs on these people, organizations, and compounds. But that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they sworn to do when you sign into the military. So technically, when everybody took that oath to join the military, and you say that whole thing, that's what you ready to do. Like, man, I'll fight the KKK and different organizations like that if I have to, because that's what you sworn to do. That's what a domestic terrorist group is. They put the Black Panthers in that same category, and they destroyed them. But they didn't touch the other one who had been established 100 years before then. I'm just going to say that and leave it right there. Y'all can go on research the history.
So, Dr. E, we're getting a Band-Aid gang. Well said, y'all. Give us 100 likes. Y'all better listen to Listen to the general right there, Nurse 59, because she will put you right there. She'll nurse you. Yeah, tighten you up. Yeah, you better tighten up. She got a wrench. You better tighten up and get them likes up. Tighten up and get them damn likes up. Tighten up and get them damn likes up. You better tighten up and get them damn likes up. Tighten up. Tighten up. You better tighten up and get them damn likes up. Tighten up. Tighten up. You better tighten up and get them fucking likes up. Band-Aid gang. Y'all get in here. Come on, y'all. How many likes we
And
got?
for the chat, I don't want to scare them away, but I just be trying to get them to realize that politics is involved in a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And crooked organizations are running it. So when you start calling it out and we start recognizing that, and people they have these bigger platforms than we do, start acknowledging that, those who listen, because them bigger platforms listen to us, but they just don't give us no credit. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, they are listening, then they used to use their platform to something bigger that we talk about, like right here on the smaller platform. We're telling them what to do and how to lead it, because we closer to the seed in the root. You feel me? So I'm dropped that last jewel right there.
That part. Now look, y'all, let's see. Now let's get into it. Now you know what they said about the island, right? But this one here, this give me funny vibes. Let's go, Band-Aid gang. Dr. Track with me. Tell me if this is weird.
Right. Exhibitions for the Walter Anderson Museum of Art in Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Horn Island.
Before I get started, I wanted to say a special thank you to the Mississippi Department of Archives and History for inviting me to speak today, and especially to Dr. Chris Goodwin for organizing this lecture. So it's a pleasure to be with you all, and I'm looking forward to talking with you. Have just recently Horn Island a series of journals that Horn Island, which is one of our barrier islands. And upon his death, these journals were actually found throughout his cottage at Shearwater, and then also in some of the workrooms at Shearwater.
So now on TikTok, let me give y'all a little example. On TikTok, you welcome me. On TikTok, there is a video of some people in the present time dancing around some pottery on that island. I can't make this up. So at some point, and if you go on TikTok, you'll see it. It's some people, they gotta look like they white people wearing stuff like Indians wear, and they burning pottery. Okay, now let's track. So I dug a little bit deeper, and this was the only thing really about it, other than what I saw on TikTok.
Within them, Anderson records 15 years now, and sensitive depictions of the natural world. So many of you are probably familiar with Walter Anderson in some form. His work is probably most associated with the state of Mississippi of any other visual artist. And so you probably are familiar with either his watercolors, such as what is seen on the screen now, or some of his block prints. But we're hoping to take a little bit of a deeper dive and really look at how he is writing about his landscape, particularly Horn Island. And so we're also going to take a little bit of a dive into Walter Anderson's relationship with the island. Unfortunately, this presentation will probably do little justice to the logs and really the rich complexity of that.
We're gonna dig in it. Look, we're gonna skim through it. Go do your research, y'all. Go look this up yourself. I'm just skimming through it, but I'm gonna show y'all some pictures. You go do your own research and look it up for yourself.
You see the three brothers here. Here's Walter Anderson, the youngest, James McConnell, and the eldest, Peter. Walter Anderson later studied at the New York School of Fine and Applied Arts, now Parsons School for Art and Design, and then later at the Pennsylvania Academy of Art. On the screen is a drawing of a lioness from the zoo, and Walter Anderson actually liked to skip class and go to the zoo where he would
skim through it. Let's skim through it.
In these images from the Gulf
Y'all better pay attention to these signs and symbols,
the blue jay here, which actually accentuates that form of the base.
But it's not. Let's get to it. But watch this, y'all. This one get kind of. I'm gonna get to the meat and potatoes. I want y'all to go look up, and it says the history.
In 1933, Walter Anderson marries Agnes Missy Grinstead. And here is a charming little picture of them as newlyweds.
So it had a lighthouse. We don't
the
see
lighthouse,
the lighthouse
and the keeper and
What
his
the lighthouse
family.
at?
Later, there was a farm established on the island that raised cattle and pigs until about the 1920s. And actually, some of the pigs were still around when Walter Anderson.
So Band-Aid gang, that lighthouse ain't on that island now. What was going on the island, gang? Because that ain't there. So now, I'm just going to scam. Now, it get deep. So he left one of his cribs that looked like that. That's one of his cribs. But this one, it get crazy. Now it's finna get crazy. Now look, y'all. What happens with the clouds and all
He even went
this?
so far as to create illustrations of his favorite works, such as The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Darwin's Adventures of the Beagle, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and Don Quixote. And these are not just one or two illustrations of each of these works. These are about 200 illustrations per work. And the Walter Anderson Horn Island became this fantastical place where he was able to.
So he said the island, that looked funny. The island turned into that, some type of magical place. Dr. E.
Kind of like a Walt Disney Wonder World kind of thing. Like
that looked like some goddamn cult ritual type of shit to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The pictures get easier. Look. The pictures, y'all just gotta scan through this. They get easier, but you see people on this island practicing this ritual when you look at all this stuff. Who going
like a
up
cult.
there? Black people flying to heaven. Black people flying to heaven. They going up. Now, it get wicked. I just want y'all to look up and it says a history launch. All of this, read through it. I'm just sending you some pictures. It gets deep. It's some real wicked, weird looking ass pictures down this timeline that he say he would see going on the island. Like crazy shit. So, but there are people that are basically go on TikTok and you're going to see people burning pottery, dancing on that island at night, like some ritual shit. So it's some top secret weird shit that goes on this island.
So you think them people in the town? I'm thinking already the same thing you probably thinking. Like one of the movies, right? Like one of them horror movies. All the people in the town are connected to that island because they all are descendants of the same cult.
Bingo.
And maybe Nolan and his family is on the outside of that because, maybe because of the melanated skin, they're not really a part of that cult. And so, maybe it was like, they may even convince them, hey, come out to the island and we're going to hang out and kick and you can see what we do. I'm just saying, allegedly this could have happened where, he became comfortable to be around this particular group of people that he was going to school with. Like fraternities and organizations, so they kind of lure you in and say, hey, come on, join the brotherhood. Just saying.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm sure. Come on, here's the other weirdest part, gang. I'm gonna just be honest. When you sit back, and I'm nothing against white people or nothing, bruh, but I've been in the Tennessee River, and when you stand in that river, right, that water feel nasty, the ground feel nasty as hell. You feel me, Dr. E? So I wanted to know, let's be real, because I say shit that other people scared to say. You mean to tell me y'all get on them boats and go all the way out there and stand in that nasty ass water and piss in it and just stand there to get your ass ate by a shark?
Or alligator or whatever the hell.
Or an alligator? What the fuck, y'all just jump off the boat? Now y'all just standing up to your titties high in the nasty ass water, and in the nasty ass water, just standing there with a beer can, waiting on the goddamn jaws to sneak up and bite your jaws off. What the fuck is going on, gang?
Big
I
ass
was
boat.
wondering, I seen them all just sitting in that nasty ass water. You know it's all dirty looking. And y'all just standing there. Y'all ain't worried about a goddamn shark sneaking up, because there's sharks in that water.
Because basically it's so basically this particular island is it but by Biloxi, Mississippi, like on the southern end, or is it in the backwoods on the off the
It's right there, sit off in the Gulf. Sit right off there in the Gulf.
So it's kind of like swamp meets ocean. That area, like the bayou. It's kind of like Louisiana. Like Louisiana is with the swamps. When you go down like the Homer and stuff like that.
It's ocean. You gotta go off the coast, drive off, and it's an island, sit out there. You in the ocean.
Okay, I got what you're saying. I got you.
Yeah. You in the ocean.
So you actually in the Gulf, like you're saying. You leave the coast of Mississippi and you go out to this island and say about what, 10 miles out?
No,
how far is it out?
It takes about an hour to get out there.
Damn.
It takes about 5 minutes to get there.
That's already kind of suspect. You know what I'm saying? You think of a brother, when it comes to boats and rides, I think we kind of share, both of us got relatives and family members that have boats, but it ain't really that big a thing that we just kind of like, we've been doing this for years. You feel what I'm saying? And just go out there and get some boats and go riding somewhere, I'm just saying it's kind of been, a little funny with that one, because it's like, we just don't go with people and go out there in no boats like that. Not saying that we don't have them, cause like we said, we both got cousins that got boats and stuff like that. And I've been kind of want to take a little boat ride myself, but I don't swim. So I'm definitely gonna be I'm gonna be vest up and have like two socks and everything with floaties on. They'll be like, what the hell? I'm like, man, if I fall in, I'm float.
At this point, it's like, man, I'll never get on no goddamn. I wanted to get a boat, but I ain't getting one now. I was gonna buy one, but after this went down, I said, man, fuck that. I'm not getting on no goddamn boat. No, hell no.
That's right. So I'm just saying, so in about 70% of the community, I think for most brothers, not saying all of us can't swim, but a lot of us can swim like fish. My stepson can swim like a fish. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, as a community, we just don't do a lot of water activity. I ain't trying to be stereotypical about it, fully. I'm just saying we really don't have a history of really just like, enjoying the water in that kind of way where we just go off into it like, islands. I'm trying to be specific what I'm trying to lead to with this.
Right.
We just don't go to islands and isolated places to go have fun. It's not what we do as a community. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to get in the boat and go hang out at the lake and fish and stuff like that. So that's a different kind of thing. But to go out there, no, we're going to go to the little hidden place. It's often and cut over there. It's like nobody.
The place where they did rituals and
my bad.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
I want to hear what you were saying, gang. Educate me.
Well, he pretty much he came in and said the same thing with what the island is. That's what I'm leading up to. We just don't go to isolated places like that to go have fun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anything we do, even if we got, I don't know, a trail ride. It's somebody's land or somebody's property or it's a park or whatever we go to do the trail ride. We're not just going to go to a secluded place, you know what I'm saying, in the woods. That's not what a trail ride is. If anything, everybody got their cameras out and everybody's videotaping it so the world can see it on YouTube and World Star. You feel what I'm saying? So
September Virgo said Dr. E. Biloxi, Mississippi is 9 hours away from Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
oh, okay. But okay, so it's but you got to go out 9 hours. How
I got a picture of it. I'm gonna let you see it in just a second. I got a picture of the island.
So it's 9-hour boat ride?
No, it's probably like a 15-minute boat ride.
15-minute boat ride. But she said how many miles?
I'm sorry, I'm lying. It's about a 20-minute boat ride. No, 45 minutes.
25-minute boat ride one way out.
45-minute boat ride. I'm gonna show you what it looked like real quick. Hold on, and then I'm gonna show y'all this. Hold on, gang. Let me show Dr. E. I want him to know it. You know, sorry if a lot of you guys know it, but I'm in like my homie. That's what I'm supposed to do. I would expect him to do the same for me. So an hour. Somebody said an hour. So here's the map, Dr. E. So there's the coast. Okay. Sit right there where you see that finger at.
Okay.
See it?
Yeah. And so it's out from the coast. And it goes. So again, I'm asking the question.
24 minutes away. Sam Diamond said an hour and 24 minutes away.
So what is this island supposed to have been for? I mean, for is like the history of it again.
They said another thing about it was slaves would escape, and to be free, they would swim to that island, and that was owned by the French. The French owned that island, and then when you came and they rescued you, you can enlist into the military.
Oh, kind of like the what they used to call them, some allegiance. I forgot the name. So they was part of the French.
So basically, like they didn't. That was just a place you can get.
So that was owned by the French at that time, basically. So the French,
swim, ain't it? That's a long ass swim.
So if you got that forward, well, we're gonna just say they probably had a boat, a raft, or something. If they made it that forward and made it to the shore, they could enlist into the French army or whatever military.
Yes.
And then they could be free from the United States government.
That's owned by the that's the federal island. That's, you know what I'm saying? That island. That's why I say it gotta be some top secret shit go on, because that's the federal island right
So the government still has so it's like Puerto Rico's a territory.
Yeah, you can't put a porta potty, a building, or nothing on there.
So what do they really do on it? Nobody really knows. But the government,
they let rich white people go over there and party.
So you know what I'm saying?
You can get in with
and so what I'm understanding was the Carolinas, Florida, and now we're looking at Biloxi, Mississippi, and different places. They have these islands that are in the Gulf. That's in, I guess we want to say, the United States territory. That, like you said, the elites go hide out, and they got duckaway hideaway. There we go. That's what I'm trying to. There you go.
So here's the thing. So we just seen the man that made the pottery, right? That he made pottery. The guy that was painting the pictures we just seen, right?
Right.
That came out there and it looked weird and freaky. So tell me, why are these people? So this what goes on the island at a certain time that they don't show us. So let's look at this.
Overnight, y'all not gonna believe this new information right here. I was tapped in earlier to Introvert Rockstars Live. What he discovered is gonna blow your mind, y'all. But before we get into it, y'all know we gotta react to some TikTok videos because there's new audio. They even got the grandfather of one of the boys, Wyatt or Warren.
Hold on.
They are lying and they telling on themselves in these interviews because, first of all, the time's not adding up. And who in the hell, when they're explaining the story, got all the dates and the times just mapped out? If I'm telling the story from 4 days ago, there's no way I'm going to tell you what time I woke up. There's no way I'm going to tell you the exact time I went to bed, the exact time I spoke to somebody. There is no way. So that leads everybody to believe that they are following the script when they get on these interviews. But let's react to TikTok videos right quick, y'all.
Nolan Wells' friends canceled CETO, but was that a breach of protocol or procedure? I'm going to show you their basic policies, and you guys be the judge. So CETO policy is very simple. The immediate lifeline is handing it off to the Coast Guard, especially if there's non-emergency issues. Now, they'll let the Coast Guard know, or they'll call 911 on their own, and they will tell people that they need to wear life jackets. Secondly, they're going to triage the situation, which is exactly what they did. Get coordinates, how many people are on board, what's happening. You do remember them saying, we're taking on water, we're going down. As they move forward, they dispatch specialized salvage gear, meaning if they know they need pumps, if they know they need certain recovery tools, they're going to dispatch flotation bags. They're going to dispatch that out. Now, as we move forward, the salvage rule, which is standard pricing, you can see what it actually does. But here's the big thing, canceled calls. If a canceled call happens by a third party or grandfather, look what happens here. They take it at face value. They take it at face value. They just naturally believe you. If a third party like a parent or grandparent calls and cancels the request, stating the situation has been resolved or handled, CETO will halt their commercial response. However, if a severe distress call was already logged involving a sinking vessel, marine log protocols require that information be coordinated with local Marine Patrol and or Coast Guard to ensure that no souls were left in distress. Here's where problems kick in. How do you know the problem was actually resolved and handled? The kids are freaking out, and then they all of a sudden say, oh, I think we're good. We're all set. How do you know? How can you take them at face value? How do you know? If they said they're sinking, they say they're going down, all of a sudden you just move on, and all of a sudden you just say, oh, okay, we're just going to take that at face value. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. They were literally telling you multiple times on the phone call that we're taking on water, we're sinking, we're going down, we need your help. All of a sudden, okay, no, we're good. Thank you. Bye. They didn't let the Coast Guard know, and they didn't let the local Marine Patrol know.
It was the grandfather. He spoke to the grandfather. The grandfather said, no, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to get through this.
Because he got power.
Okay, so Quan is saying, listen to the 911.
Hold on, I'm trying to get to this. I'm going to get to the ritual part. This is why I hate my TikTok on here. But if it keeps stalling me out, Debo, I'll just have a clip for you tomorrow. Okay, hold on.
Clock,
okay,
right?
Here. Let's skim through it. It's taking a little bit to load. I want to say thank you to Dr. E.
Oh, he remembering a line, all right. He can't wait to get to a line.
The timeline they already gave you. Now, I do want to be clear. A nervous person is not a guilty person. People can be nervous under stress. We know this. But what stands out to me in this clip is not just that he stutters and he pauses and he is trying to remember. It's that he seems to be focused more on how he can clear himself.
Yep. That part.
And making sure people can't blame him rather than walking through the steps and actually trying to figure out what happened to Nolan. I see no remorse. I just see him, you can't blame me because Nolan is an adult and he chose to stay behind. Well, what about all the other questions?
In this clip, I'm going to show you why I don't trust his nose. I'm going to show you why I don't trust Mr. Pinocchio right here.
Play the video right now.
Like there's a couple boats for Nolan. There was planes and helicopters and, everybody. So
listen to him now.
And then after this, obviously they didn't find Nolan that day.
Right.
And so what was your reaction like when you heard the news, or how did you hear the news that they found Nolan's body?
Well,
I must say this. This is another thing that's going to be in our archive, Band-Aid Gang. And I'm going to repeat that along with the other gems I dropped today. First day they came out that they had what, Dr. E? Helicopters and all of that. That's what he just explained. This the first day out, Band-Aid Gang. And they didn't find him until the third time they came out. That show you his body was brought back out there, gang. You got helicopters, all kind of boats And Nolan ain't no. Y'all came out there 3 times. You found him on what 4th, 5th, 6th, on the 6th or the 7th is when they found him.
Mm.
But you didn't find him the first time y'all went out there? If he was face down floating, I'm trying to figure out when you float up. Y'all covering all that type of ground and didn't find him the first time out or the second time out, but the 3rd time out, y'all find him? Come on, gang.
That's like a narrative painting stall out.
Come on.
I'm just saying. That's a lot of
That don't make no sense. He was there, washed up on the island, so that means he was in close vicinity because the other water was low. So he should have been right around there. So you telling me he floated out and floated back in? Then again, he didn't get ate by a shark?
Mm.
Something didn't hit him? I said, damn. Is that him? Is that Nolan? I can't make this shit up. Now let's go, Glenn.
The next day, well, it got to be about 1 o'clock on July 5th, and I was like, my mind started to turn. I was like, man, you know, if he's not awake yet, like, where is he? Like, you know, like I got very, very worried.
If he's not awake? What do you mean if he's not awake yet?
Brooks the next day, and we're driving.
So if he's not awake yet, so when they choked him out, they must have thought that he was going to come back. Somebody was going to revive him. Because I believe he was choked out and brought on the boat, and they were trying to give him CPR and all that shit, and he just didn't come back. And they turned the tracking off of the other boats and let us track one boat, but he done went off on another boat somewhere. And when they found out the coast was clear, they came back over there that night and dropped his body off. I said, damn, there it is. There it is. I can't make this up. That's what happened. It wasn't the best friend fight. That fight the best friend pretended that he had. That was Nolan fighting, allegedly, Bart, or him. But whatever, somebody choked him out, gang. And they brought him back on the boat, trying to revive him. That's why they was like, is he dead? Is he? What? But he never came back. So then they turned off the coordinates on all the other boats. That's why they started saying, oh, I left first, and then I left. But we have no tracking of 3 boats. We only tracking 1 boat. Why do they only have tracking, gang, on 1 boat? See, I can drag them with that for a long time. Well, I'll drag you with that for a long time. See, that's how you cook. 1 boat that we got coordinates on. But it was 3 boats. Nolan body wasn't on that boat that they was tracking. That's the boat they wanted you to follow. Ain't it right, Dr. E?
Yep, right.
They wanted us to follow that boat, while the other 3 that had Nolan body on it went the other way. Ain't that right, ain't it? It went the other way. Go this way, not that way. I said, damn. That's the case. And we broke it right over here. Until they can show us 3 different directions that the other boats went. So if the other boats, Band-Aid gang, can disappear off the radar, because they did. They got power. Somebody got power. So not only, what kind of conversation did the granddaddy have? Hey, we're going to go ahead and turn our coordinates off on the other boats because they done choked out one of these young men. I'll give you $1 million. Just shut your mouth. Keep it in the family because they did something. So I'm going to turn off the coordinates on these other boats. Because we don't know where they went. That's what you call power. So Nolan was on another boat Not that boat. Because 3 other boats went somewhere, but they're not showing us that. But we all on social media like, here, this is where the boat went. This is where the boat went. What about the other boats? But see, you can't fool us. They choked him out. They choked him out, and they thought they was going to revive him. I think that's called an all F moment. An all fuck. Like an oh fuck moment. That all fuck moment. And thought they was going to revive him. That's why they were saying, is he dead? Hit the like button. That's why 9 times out of 10, nobody else really seen it. Because probably everybody else was minding their damn business. Oh, that's that group of niggas they fighting. Oh, he drunk, they knocked him out. They probably thought the nigga got knocked out. Now, we got him, we gonna take him home to his mama. We gonna take him home to his mama. He just knocked out. Then they got on the boat trying to revive him. And he never came back, gang. You hear it right there. They were trying to revive him. And that's when they turned off the tracking on the other 3 boats. The other 3 boats had him. Hit the like button. That's why we beat you. So let's continue before we end this awesome live.
And my buddies were texting my group chat. They were like, hey, listen, I got a phone call from my buddy Trace, and he was like, hey, man, they just found his body.
Sound like y'all did it. Man, y'all don't see this, man. I can't be like.
How are they checking to see where Nolan is? How could they call to see Nolan if they got the damn phone?
Sort of like spindly pines of Rome in Italy. Artists still come out to Horn Island for inspiration, alone sometimes, as members of groups a lot. They may stay overnight or a week or more. The day breaks silently with a whisper on the breeze.
Now they saying, not on the 4th of July, but whatever date the rituals is, they come over here and stay overnight. For what? Let's track.
And uncertainty in the air. It may be gray.
Watch this, y'all.
Or it may be sunny. But each kind of weather brings out its own personality and traits on the island. At nighttime, you make of it what you want. A luau, ritual dance around the fire. 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 You want a luau, ritual dance around the fire.
This is Horn Island. No black people doing this around the fire. A ritual dance around the fire. People camp there overnight. Shout out to Introvert Rockstar. Do y'all see what's going on? Do not be fooled by the narrator voice. This is how they trick us, y'all.
Ritual dance around the fire, an unveiling of the day's artistic work. Even firing pottery at night takes on a special flavor on Horn Island. Now, I'll admit, I'm not that much of an outdoorsman. I mean, my idea of
when you read the Bible, they worship.
Well, let me stop you for a minute, brother, because all you got to do is watch the Band-Aid gang, right? So we watched just a second ago, right, the history of the man that went over there first. What did he do, Dr. E? He made pottery.
True.
But what was so special about the man that you're going to go have a ritual about some pottery? See, I showed y'all the pictures because signs and symbols are for the conscious mind. So I think that man is a little bit deeper when you dig into him a little bit. So there might be some cult activity because we know he built pottery. And now they dancing around some pottery. So they knew about this man, right? And a little bit more about him because they probably come from his background. It's deeper than, you know what I'm saying? It's bigger than Nino Brown. Thank you for the gold coin, La. We beat you, gang. And I'm going to dig it in. I need to know. Somebody go email Ben Crump and tell him to do better. And ask them folks where the other goddamn tracking of the 3 boats at. We want to know where they went. It's too late. Yeah. Where did the other 3 boats go? That's the main thing. And why did it take 3 days? And y'all went out there day 1, day 2, and day 3, and now you finally find him? Crazy work. Answer me that. Answer me that. And then maybe you can come and talk to the gang and get you a Band-Aid. You feel me? Because I think we beat them. Yeah, we beat you. But we can't do nothing about it. So now me and Dr. E and this channel got to keep repeating the same shit over until the algorithms, until these people keep hitting that like button and it run across somebody's timeline and they say, or when they get ready to go and take these boys to court, they can say that. Maybe the lawyer catch me like, let me go in there and ask that question. We want to know where them 3 other boats went. And how was they able to turn off the coordinates? And why did they try to play us like some stupid motherfuckers? Tell me that. Tell me why they tried to play us like dope fiends. They showed us 1 boat. It was 3 boats. Dope fiend us, gang. And guess what? For the last couple of days, y'all been being dope fiend. It ain't even dope fiend Don Lemon. They dope fiend Nancy Gray. But they ain't dope fiend us. Because ain't none of them asked what happened to the other 3 boats. Tell me that they done said it. They've been running that damn shit on TV, whatever the old folks say on the TV. But we know it's the internet. The old folks said on the TV they running that dumbass shit. But I'm glad we woke over here. Nancy Gray, everybody over there showing the same thing. The boat went here, then it parked over here, then went back over here. What about the other 3 boats, dope fiends? Let's talk about it. We beat you. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to keep on, boy, I'm going to kick them in their ass. Boy, hey, y'all hit my like button, get my video in the algorithm. Hey, gang, I got to dig this in. I got to stay on the same thing and then add a little more to it. Because I'm going to press on that. I'm going to stay on that. I'm going to have these people over here going over there saying exactly what I said. What happened to the other 3 boats? Why we ain't got their coordinates? How was they able to even turn off their coordinates? And with such a high impact case, why it all seem like they together, gang? Why don't we got other pictures of anything? It's like they gave us those pictures that they wanted us to have. We don't see it was 11, 16 people on 1 boat. Well, 16 people. We ain't seen no pictures showing none of that. Like they said, we'll give you this picture, this picture. Y'all ain't got no pictures. You got the boy studying. I'm going to bring that back on his ass, studying. The way he had done studied, I'm going to dig it in. I had him madder than 10 white people. Band-Aid gang, hit the like button. Salute to my mind, Nurse 59. Tighten up and get my likes up, or she going to get you straight up out of here. It was 4 boats, gang. It was 4 boats. But guess what, gang? Why we guessing? I said, damn, we ain't even got no coordinates. But we gonna dig it in on this channel. I'm gonna do them all type of ways. I'm gonna make them hear us. Because I'm gonna be madder than 10 niggas. I swear to God, if these people sit up here and play in our face and say that they ain't got no goddamn, that they ain't finna bring these people in, bruh, that's way beyond slavery. I said, damn, that's way beyond slavery. I can't make this up. With all these clues, Nancy Grace, we played that video where she said she had her people. She believed her, and Nancy Grace and all these white people sitting out, and then they gonna turn around in Mississippi, the poorest goddamn state in America, and they gonna win this one? If anything, they should lose. They get their ass up out of here. Mississippi got that much power? So we know where the head clan meeting at right there. We beat you, and we gonna grind. And I'm bring you something new again. I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna keep my foot on their neck. And hope you guys subscribe to the channel. This is what we do over here. Shouts out to Diamond Gang. She wasn't here to make it. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Angel for lining these videos up. Shouts out to Nurse 59, September Virgo, my mom, the whole Band-Aid Gang staff that send us the information and that keep me lined up. Keep me focused. And it just get better and better. And I want to thank everybody for staying in and listening. All the replay gang. Thank y'all. Please hit that like button to manipulate this algorithm so our videos can get out a little bit further, so our message can get heard, so we can get justice for Nolan Wells. Also, long live Dolph, long live Mo 3, and also, let's get justice for Carmelo Anthony. Hey, y'all, this is going to be a long fight, but we willing to go for it. We don't roll over, dog. Our dogs don't do them tricks. We don't roll over. We don't know them tricks. So with that being said, stay blessed, never stress. Be glad you above the ground instead of under it. Stay prayed up. We love y'all. Knowledge is key. Peace and love to the kings and queens out there. All the risk takers, all the woke people. We love you. I'm C-Dub, Mr. I ain't said a word, but you know what I'm saying. And I said, damn. And I'm with the
Real Angel.
And we beat you. Band-Aid Gang, Dr. E in the building, and Diamond Gang.
Ooh.
You know how we hold it. Salute to Nurse 59. Thank you for holding it down. Thank you all for the jewels, the super chats, whatever case may be. Thank you guys. Peace and love to you guys. And I know it get hard out here, but remember, we all in the same shit together. Life. Peace.
Peace.
Make sure y'all hype that video up too. We'll see y'all. Pay attention to my community wall, because if I don't miss, I might miss one beat. But I might get hyped up and come right back, because I probably ain't gonna sleep that good, because this damn case is messing with my head. So I'm gonna go look at somebody else shit. Band-Aid Gang, and we out. Peace.